We are live here tonight on American Zombie. Like I said, what's up to everyone? Music zombies. And of course, like the show yesterday, it could go in another direction. I hope we stay on the topic. We had a really good first half of the show. And I got to give Zuback and Jake and Mr. Rex and at the chat, especially, man, a lot of credit, man. Yo, what's up, KAI? Good to see you. Good morning, Babylon. Always, man. Yeah, man. You know, you were there. You were in the chat. You witnessed it. Zombification can hit anyone. It can hit anyone, man. You know what's up, man. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it to kick off. You know, I try to walk away, pulls me back in. Trying to do it, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. The zombies are everywhere. Music zombies. We got the religious, the schoolhouse zombies, the patriotic zombies. Schoolhouse zombies thinking at a high IQ makes them smart for some reason or intelligent. But we know that that's just not true because if somebody can't even tell the basic knowledge that Europe is not a continent, it is part of Asia, you ain't that smart. The IQ doesn't mean nothing. Doesn't mean nothing, man. Thanks, brother. I really appreciate that you get me through my Joey. That guy, what's up, man? You know what's up, bro. It's Zombie City. It just yeah, man. These trying to think of an easy way to put it. These man, relationship zombies isn't or we already know, man. We already know. It just I try to do the best I can. Had some good questions on the exercise and stuff. I give Zuback, man. Zuback, you know, it was like Zuback. I have a lot of respect for Zuback. I mean, it was funny, man. Now we know, you know, I have to abide. You know, I'm happy to abide by the guidelines on YouTube. When, man, I try to ask people, don't curse. Everybody slips. That's cool. Definitely, we're not gonna do any self-deprecation with certain words that YouTube allows in other streams. I just have a higher standard with that, saying, all right, we're not gonna say that word or other words that that kind of lower the mentality, that kind of zombify, because we see all these zombies, you know. But still, much love to all of those participants, Mr. X, the OG. But yeah, it was. I know Azroon tried to get on; he couldn't get a word in sideways with all of the coping. I think that's a good way to put it. Copium was overflowing. The hopium, the copium. It just. I don't know, man. I don't know. I would have liked to just talk about the everyday rituals that zombify us, that keep us zombified. Today, we know that the music really zombifies people, man. When I see these guys talking about, you know, that, you know, they try to defend the music, not knowing we live in the United States of experiments, or the world for that matter. To think that when what's that saying? If you can get somebody to believe absurdities, you can get them to commit atrocities. And it's absurd to think a continent can be split in half and one half, you know, deemed this and the other half deemed that. And that absurd notion got people to commit atrocities. The saying is true. We can take the island of Hispaniola. Now, today, there's two countries that reside on that island. We have Haiti on one half, and we have the Dominican Republic on the other half. It's the same island. It's not two islands. Haiti is not its own island. The DR is not its own island. They are the part of the same island. So in that same respect, if we were to say, no, Haiti's an island. It's an island by itself. No, it's part of an island that consists of another country on that island, which is the DR. Oh yeah, man. Red Blood, good to see you, brother. He says 500 Nights of Jake Part 2 tonight. I don't know if he's gonna come back. I mean, everybody, I welcome people that have done crazier stuff. And if Jake comes back, I really hope Zubak comes back too, because that's gonna make it live. You already know. It's yeah, grown men. We just have to get on with it, man. Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. Yep. Deal with what life has for us. This is the reality of this is part of being a man. And we take it like it comes, man. We take it like it comes. I think it was kind of entertaining. I would have liked to stayed a little more on target, but it was funny in a way. At least we kept it cordial. And yeah, people, the chat, man, much love to the chat. That was a hilarious thing tonight with the music. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't want to summon anybody by mistake, because rock and roll, rap, pop, all of that stuff, like when we look at it now, can be seen to be detrimental. We see how it zombifies people. When I look back at the beginnings of a lot of these music, parents complained. And now I see that they did so for good reason. Just the way we see different stuff in music today from what we might have had when we grew up. We see that difference. The pop music. It's so much of this, Satanism is a religion. I would like to get Diego Sanchez on here. When he came on, Diego Sanchez. I can't even believe I called. My bad. Diego knows to come back on here, but talk about he said he was a Satanist when he went into the military. I was like, wow. He said he had it written down on this thing. That seems like to be a good conversation with him. The analyzation of the female movies, it in a way kind of gets redundant now. And there was a little too much cursing on that stream that I wasn't too satisfied with. And yeah. So, but yeah, I would really like to talk about that, because we know Satanism is a religion, just like the other religions and the religion of evolution, which, religion. See, that's the funny thing. Other religions have their racism in it, but we know that evolution is like the religion of racism. Racism is clearly a religion. It has moved into that aspect. But what do I call the music when I think about that? Can music be a religion? If people listen to it religiously, they definitely have racist music. They definitely, there's genres of that with like some headbanger stuff. We see it on the other end. I remember there was a group in the 80s called X-Clan, man. And a lot of their songs came from samples, and they were kind of on the other side of the spectrum. I don't really, they had that was during the time where people were wearing their leather symbols, I guess to call it. Like when I grew up, I never at the moment, I would have liked to have a leather bomber. I didn't know those bomber jackets came from pilots. So people were wearing those. The sheepskin, the sheepskin was cool. It was. I never had one of those either. But both of those, the leather bomber, the sheepskin, the sneakers, the Adidas, the Lee jeans, the belt buckle, the nameplate on the chain. I remember people having the New York City skyline on the nameplate. I look at that. It was all a uniform for music, because we saw that the music put out that uniform, especially with Run DMC. He said something about Lee. Lee's on my there's something on my back, Lee's on my pants or something, and sneakers on my feet, and Jay with the beat. And then with on the other side with the rock, we saw that it had the jeans, the the leather vest, the Harley Davidson stuff, the wallet with the chain. And Frank Zappa had said it best when he looked upon a group out there in the crowd, and they were like hippies. You know, I guess I'm trying to think what event it was. I think it was a concert, and he said, "You're all wearing uniforms," to all the hippies. So it's kind of like saying, let me see. He said, Frank Zappa. Just trying to look it up. Frank Zappa, you are all wearing uniforms. And I got to give it to him. He seemed to be very, very aware. Yes. His famous line, everybody in this room is wearing a uniform and don't kid yourselves, points to his critique of conformity, especially within the counterculture he observed in the 60s. The hippies, he was arguing that the hippies, despite their outward rebellion, adopted similar looks, behaviors, and taste, essentially creating their own restrictive uniforms and losing individualities. And two, and this is why I bring it up too, because the music zombies, what pushed those uniforms, I mean, look at the Mamas and the Papas. They had some catchy tunes that pushed those uniforms. You know, the California Dreamin' song, you know, and they were kind of hippie-ish. Even though I used to like a lot of Jimi Hendrix. I still do. You know, Hey Joe, The Wind Cries Mary, Let Me Stand Next to Your Fire. He had kind of that hippie uniform. He had the headband that they said he was soaked in LSD and put on. I mean, brother was off the handle. But Jimi Hendrix, it's something I call the Jimi Hendrix experience. He went to England, I think, to get big because they didn't really outright accept him in America. So he went there, got big, came back big, and you know, the zombies they exhibit very odd behavior. If you can figure it out, you can manipulate them. Or if you figure it out, you get the vision and you can try to back away from the crowd. They'll come for you. They'll come for you. And that's why you got to have your mental shields. You got to be able to evade, you know, you got to battle. Better than that, you got to know when not to battle, how you can win the fight, the mental fight, by not even you know, engaging. I stayed kind of quiet yesterday, listening to the conversation, watching the mental gymnastics. I mean, Jake and Zubak. Jake was unicycle city, and Zubak, man, he was pulled out the whip, man. He was pressing. He like kind of like Lasagna used to press on people, keep their composure, never raise their voice, and just it was like a boxer that just throws punches that aren't that powerful, but they're steady. You eat a few of those and it's over. And I give Jake a lot of credit for being able to take that type of damage and still not see the light. But you know, if he wants to get married, if Zoo wants to, you know, criticize it, great. The music, man. You know, I would have liked to ask now if they do come, like, hey, man, you know, that girl, does she like, you know, what type of music does she like? I'm just trying to stay on my topics. And if it glides in a different direction, I was busy like doing things, but I didn't want to jump in because I didn't want to seem like I was teaming up, because Zubak was already just in beast mode and Jake was defending, but the shields were getting crushed, man. I mean, and he had a good point. If somebody else would have came on here saying the same thing, and you know, he would have got roasted by Jake with, you know, the stuff that he's saying. Now that we see the shoes on the other foot and all of that, we see how easy it is for somebody to get zombified against something that they previously thought like, all right, they were invulnerable. I think that's the word, invulnerable too. So, or immune. Immune is another word that could, but it can happen to anyone. It can happen to anyone. And uh, we, we see it now with the music, right? With the Frank Zappa of critiquing of the hip hop culture. When we moved a little further, you're looking at the 60s, you move into the 70s, and then you have the funk, and then the disco. Disco took over funk like overnight, and and that was what they called the disco revolution, which had its own uniforms again. And this is something that why I put it music zombies, because we're linking the music to these uniforms, the hippies to the soft rock, the rebellious rock, because government, I think, produces all this music. They got an invisible hand that 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 guides it without the people not even knowing they're being guided. It's like putting out something that somebody's likes, or you put it in a way like sugar. When they put sugar for sale, I used to wonder, candy stores, because I was addicted to sugar. I still am addicted to sugar. I just don't, I try not to eat a lot. I don't eat the processed stuff now, but sweet things, yeah, straight, that's sometimes it's cool. But if you eat too much of something processed, we already know the problem with that. And in knowing that how people react to that, putting that out there, when you see how some people react to that, you can put it out there and manipulate people. So if we replace the sugar with the analogy of music, and somebody likes that type of music, and you say, oh, so this is how they react. And you know what? I can even influence them on what to wear. So I'm already influencing them through the musical tones to like what they are listening to, because the tones are programmed to be like that. We know what notes to hit. We know the hook. Why do you think they call it a hook? It hooks you. And now, with all the technology, with the technological advancements, we can see that the neurons in the brain act in a certain manner. I'm going to see if I had some of the video. I'm just going to see if I can get some free domain stuff with it. And yeah, they it affects your brain to where it has addictive qualities that can even surpass certain drugs. Sons of God, good to see you, man. He says you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Yeah, man, that's an excellent quote, bro. That is, I think about that quote. I actually struggle with it in some ways, because I say to myself, okay, I'm midway there. So I haven't lived long enough, I think, to see myself as the villain. Who knows? I might be the villain right now. And being able to accept that is maturity. I'd rather be the best bad guy, if that's what I am to be, than a mediocre good guy. But I know that within the power of giving and helping, and also disciplining people. When you discipline people, that helps them. If you discipline somebody in the right way where they can learn. But most people zombies won't look at it that way. But regardless, they will get disciplined. And I hope that what happened last night, that they learn, that Jake learns that that, hey man, anybody's susceptible to that. And also, I think above that is like, hey man, we were doing a show that was going in a direction that I let float away. And yeah, we just I kind of look at that, and I am a little bit disappointed in my lack of control. For I didn't want a scene because it was easy. Hey, we all got emotions, man. It's easy for me to jump in there. That's why I was putting just like, I couldn't do the emojis. I got to figure out how to do the emojis here on StreamYard. But if I would have had YouTube open, I would have put the emojis, and I was putting like, when he was not caring about the the count and stuff. I don't even want to get into that, but back to the music, man. The music influencing the behavior of having somebody wanting to listen to it because it has an addictive quality. Now that's one part of it. Then the next part is the music that you're addicted to, or all of us. I mean, there's tunes I'll still listen to. I don't, listen to them all the time. Most likely now it's more instrumental or listening to something like a lecture. But the music, getting the person addicted to the tones, which now they can be manipulated. One, to do certain things and act certain ways, wear certain apparel. So the uniform, we see the hippie uniform, we see the funk uniform was similar to the hippie, a little more circus. It was a little more circusy, but it was similar. The disco, now you're going more toward the circus. And then hip hop with the Adidas. The fact that, and this is the thing, the fact that I remember they used to scream that, my Adidas. And it's like, I look back at that now and I'm like, oh my good, thank goodness. I see now, thank goodness. I never really liked the shell toe Adidas. I like the Pumas, the suede Pumas, which eventually I had got a pair when I was around 16. And why? Because I saw a lot of people wearing them. And when I think of some of the kids that never adhered to style, I don't know if it was because they couldn't afford it or they realized that why, to fall into that category, the uniform, basically the uniform. So it's the uniform of the decade. It looks like then in the 90s, it kind of switched a little when you had the NWA stuff coming out late 80s, but what it switched also to was the MC Hammer Vanilla Ice. So now you had dudes not only are they wearing the different clothes, now they got the hairstyles that are coming in. And after that, we see the 2000s, the millennia starts coming in. And now we're 25 years into the millennia, which is unbelievable. We've hit 25 full years. It's the 22nd of December, 8 days, 9 days, to the new. And so 25 years, the people that are 30 years old, you think about it, it's like, wow, they were 5 years old, 6 years old when 9/11 happened. Or let's even better, 35. If you're 35 years old, right, you would have been 10 in the year 2000. So now you got a little more of a perspective. So you're saying, boom, you just went in 25 years. So you got a pretty good 20 years of experience. You can say, okay, from 10 to 15 are some serious experiences. I don't remember too many of mine. I do remember a good bit, but when I think about it, it's like, wow, we're 25 years in, man. 25 years in. So we see the hippies go with the music. We've seen the little bit of circus mixed in until the volume was turned up to disco. And then it also had like a synth music in the 80s with the rap and like Beastie Boys, the glamour rock. We had that. And then coming into the 90s, which in the 90s, it was like the early 90s, it was full blown zombie. I was eating McDonald's. I was straight a crap burger zombie. I was eating McDonald's. I was eating KFC. I remember eating McDonald's, KFC, and Taco Bell in the same day, one day. 3 different times during the day. I'd say, let me get some of, Timbo, good to see you, man. He says, Korn made the song Adidas, All Day I Dream About Sex. Yeah, man, I remember in school, we used to say that was the acronym for it. And then we would say you could read it backwards, Sex All Day I Dream About. So, yeah, I remember I remember when I was a kid, the Adidas, I just never liked the uniform I wasn't I didn't get school clothes. So I remember in high school it was brutal. Like ninth grade, having two pair of pants and a pair of sweatpants. It's like, I didn't realize it at the time. I knew it without knowing it. School is like a fashion show. And I remember when I think about it, the little bit that I did go to high school is I remember people talking about songs and stuff like that. And it was kind of like when I look back at it now, I didn't know it back then. I was like, I thought to myself, like, wow, I need to know about certain songs so I don't seem like an idiot. But look at the reverse. It's the reverse because the more people know about these stats, like that guy, nothing against him personally, but the guy, Matt Pinhead, I think, that knew all the statistics to all the singers, the songs, the year they sang it, the guy that produced it, the lady that wrote it, all it's like, oh my goodness, it's like just straight music zombie. And people look at that as like, hey man, that's a good thing. Why? That's like, to me, in a way, the music seems to be not as bad as the sports, because a person that knows everything about another sport player is on a level of zombie that just, yeah, I don't even know what to say. The level of zombie for the sports, at least the music, maybe seemingly is more, the knowledge is worth a little more than somebody that just knows the statistics on a sports player. I mean, the sports zombie, see, now we can classify the level of zombie, of the value of the zombie. The sports thing, I don't see somebody knowing sports statistics going back to Babe Ruth and all of that, that can help a person. The music thing is something that it just seems like, okay, music has a different effect. Jose, what's up, man? How's everything?
Hey, how's it doing, man? My audio good or is my quality okay?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, man, I'm just catching up, listening to the thing. Bro, you got a good quote about a couple minutes ago that you said, you'd rather be the best villain than a mediocre hero.
Oh,
Bro, like I heard that one, I was like, wow, that's a good one, man. That's a good one. Because it makes you think, it's true. You really want to live this life and really find out and try to make the most of your existence, of who you are, what you do with your life. And that's I feel like, the epiphany of getting out of zombieism, getting out of, being programmed by how anybody would tell you how you should live this life. You gotta obviously, like you can't do egregiously harmful things. Eventually I think
no,
there's
no,
forces
no.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, but
I mean,
definitely.
I wanted to add in that even though it is better to me to be a great villain than a mediocre good, that comparison to let me know that, okay, the villain thing we can do, but when I really analyze it, I know for sure I can be a really, really good guy. So,
Yeah.
because we all know that. See, that's the beautiful thing about the good. Because all we know, we know how to be good, but we don't want to really all the time. I don't know what it is. It's hard to be somebody that is adding in and helping and trying to make everything better.
Uh-huh.
We
I
can
mean,
do, we know we can do it, right? But the thing is, it's not like the bad guy. If we would say, okay, not everybody can be a very, very effective or good bad guy, and not bad like. I mean, we know we can do some crazy stuff, but like look at these guys like certain companies that they have waste that they get rid of in the water system, in the air, on the land, buried, whatever, producing products that produce it. It just,
yeah,
these guys like,
it's just scum. Those people are scum. They're harmful.
yeah,
You
and
gotta,
they like specialize in being
but
bad. So
uh-huh.
that's hard to do. Now I'm not saying
Uh-huh.
what they're doing is good, but to be see, and this is where the comparison where I'm like, okay, we would think, and this is with the zombie thing, we would think it's easier to be the bad guy, or I can just go straight Manson or something like that. But that is the I don't need that's like a it's to say that how would somebody even consider that not to be a bad guy? You got somebody that's harmful to people in that way directly, and then you got the indirectly. Good indirectly or directly is easy to do to a person. You send somebody something secret, help them, like, okay, there's trash somewhere, you pick it up, you put it in the trash bin, and you didn't have to do that. You helped somebody else, or you helped everybody, like society. And not to say, I'm not telling people to go pick up trash, but when I look at it, like, yeah, it's really messed up that people, when they throw the trash, it also shows me a problem.
Right. No, there's the reality. So you kind
Or
of
it's
think,
kind of like when you go out, like holding the door. I held the door open for this lady. She was kind of creepy, like and
but it's still good karma. It's still good energy
yeah,
that you're
something like that. You see, yeah,
still
exactly.
doing
And
the
it's
best.
easy to do. It's easy to do. Like the
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
thing, I don't feel good doing the bad thing, right? Do you feel good doing the bad thing?
No, no, no. I don't. I never. I'm saying like, and I would never think. I mean, this is the thing, right? Give me one sec.
Mark, what's up, bro? Good to see you, brother. He said, yeah, stay on Zombified 2026.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm saying like, if it's a person, so this is the funny thing, right? It's like
What do you
even
think? I just
good.
want to. I just want
Oh,
to. CD asks a question. What do you think of designer brands like John Varvatos? I don't honestly, man. It's messed up. I don't know who that is. Dolce, Gabbana. I know Armani suits. When I think of a suit, I think if it's tailor made, it's gonna look good. So the Armanis and stuff. I haven't. I have to look at them. I don't even know what the other. Do you have you ever heard of these suits?
yeah, no, these are designer brands. Um, I would say it's a matter of knowing the material they're made out of. When you think about it, these are material items. So and because the clothing, the fabric is important. You'd assume, if they are to be like good fabric, that they're gonna be of like a quality, and you'd probably do some research to say, well, if I'm gonna buy whatever brand shirt thing, okay, do I feel like I'm actually getting the value for what I'm buying from based of what it's made of, like, and then there's the artistic nature of the design. So when you pay a higher price tag for a shirt, a suit, pants, whatever, you're really paying for the quality of the weaving of that fabric, but also the fabric as well. So you take both into account and you say, all right, you know, this is either good or I don't know. Some of the stuff, like if you look at the tags or whatever, like you find out that some of it might have like a synthetic like polyester mix or something, and you're just like, nah, like you'd rather not.
Yeah, you're
Because
right. You're right. Yeah, the linen suits, I think, are like the higher quality, right?
I mean, I'm not too familiar.
I
I
gotta
can't
look
lie.
it up. I thought, now I don't know the suits, but him mentioning Armani, I have heard of Armani. You know,
Yeah, the brand, if I'm not I forget but I think the
yeah, but
brand
the
is
others, yeah, I haven't heard of the others. Just hanging. Jamal, what's up, brother? Yo, thank you for the support, brother. He says we need to do a religion zombie stream. You noticed how much Jake changed his values when he started going to church. The zombie bite power in church is strong. Yes, yes. Tomorrow night, tonight. We got. We could talk about religious zombies if you want to too, if you hop on. But yeah, tomorrow I'll put up the thumbnail for religious zombies, man. Definitely. I appreciate the support, brother. Jose, yeah. Oh, Black Circle, what's up? MD Hill, great. That yeah, the first half was good, man. Yeah. I don't know who this Bernard Kuppenheimer. I'll look him up. Uh, do I remember that time? No, I don't. You know what?
you were
Let me
gonna ask
look up Armani. What were you saying?
you were gonna ask me something.
Oh, it was something with the arm. Oh, you were saying you knew what the other. how would you say these top brands compared to lower Michael Kors, Calvin Klein? I'm gonna look up. Yeah, but you've heard of these, right, Jose?
The brands and stuff, yeah,
Yeah, the
I have.
John Barbados, I guess.
Uh-huh. That one, that one's probably a recent one. I'm not too familiar with the
Hmm.
Barbados, but the other ones I have heard mention of, and they're designer clothes and stuff. A lot of the times I just, I'm pretty frugal overall when it comes to spending money on clothing. I mean, I got like, like a few things, but I just don't um like go shopping for clothing so often because I feel like once you have like a good rotation of the stuff you wear, you're like, okay, like maybe when you need new shoes or
Yeah.
socks, underwear, whatever. But as far as like the branding, see, that's the thing. Like even then, still, I go you a lot of the as a consumer. For me, I just think I look at it based on the money I spend and what am I getting for the money that I spend. Like to spend a lot, like you think about people, and I'm sure there are. Of course, there's people who spend for hundreds of dollars on like consumer products, but also just materials like clothing or jewelry or everything like that.
Hmm.
And you're like, and you ask yourself like, do you really even need like all this surplus of a
Hmm.
closet with all those many options? And I mean,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
have a sure, if you have a reason, sure. But even then, that's a
I mean,
consumerism
yeah,
zombie.
definitely consumer. You're right. Alexis, what's up, brother? He says, what the heck happened to Jake last night? Just 1 year ago, he was completely opposite. How strong is the church on zombifying people? Man, I said honestly, bro, the what was the picture? The
I
church.
don't even think the Jake thing is so much a thing, so much for spirituality though, MD.
No, yeah, no, I think it was. I
He
mean,
really wants the
I got
girl.
to give Zubak.
He wants the girl. He
Yeah,
wants the
hey,
girl.
hey, I you already know. Um, yeah, the religion. When what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just start making videos to make it easier because zombie man is so much to explain. I'll explain it now, of course. But yeah, the religion is possibly the oldest form of zombification. Food, I think food became zombie with the process. Yeah, of course, they got some nature. Nature always has a built in mechanism that prevents you from eating too much. And it does it in a natural, beautiful way because it's like strawberries or mangoes or something. You're going to eat mangoes, and it's going to get to a point if you eat one or you feel like eating another one or another, you're going to get to where when you taste it, it's not going to taste as good as that first one. And then you're not going to feel like eating it. So nature has a way of easily making you uh, say, okay, you're full. Um, Anything that's processed, you can consume more then you'll consume it at a quicker rate and the body it bypasses that natural ability to taste when the food changes to stop eating it and you start becoming like overloading basically with food. So the food zombify you. The school, the media, we know the school, the medicine, the politics, but the religion, when I look at religion, like what Alexis is saying, yeah, man, it is deep. We saw, you know what? It was like we were looking at the thing with Zubak and Jake talk, and it was like we were looking at the zombie movie, and Zubak's trying to ask him, and Jake was just going, it was hilarious, bro. It was really hilarious.
It was Matrix when Cypher was confronted, right? It was that.
Yo,
It,
yeah, yeah. It
he was like,
just,
I know, right? Like how many times did he repeat, I know. And he just was whatever Zubak told him, he would just immediately like just
it
reply
was
back.
backpedal. Yeah,
But I know,
Timbo's
I know.
right. The dating pill keeps pulling me back into the realm. It's like Scribe was telling me that today, and Jake. Yeah, I think Jake has gone full zombie, man. I think the thing about the zombie apocalypse with the mind. I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's like, can he ever come back? It's like I know so we have a little zombie. Everybody got zombie like food, and that's why I made the spectrum. That's why it's so important to have the spectrum, because at least we know we're not I know I'm not trying to get married or nothing like that. It just I think Jailhouse Max left a really good comment what Tom Likas said about it uh, a while back. And yeah, the spectrum, man, the spectrum to know
Mhm.
like, okay, this the dating would fall into the friends category, because in the friends category you have friends, like social friends, you have relationship friends, and then you have internet friends, so you have different types of friends. And that combined with the last part of the spectrum, the religion, because the girl, the sexual friend, I guess Jake went on the religion thing, and uh he got zombified. He turned
Yeah,
into a zombie. Yeah.
I forgot the exact way that he said that he came about meeting her or whatever, but I assume it was something about, yeah, that he went to a church.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Good.
so
No, go
you
ahead. Go ahead.
you know what I mean? Like you went to a new, the place. I don't know if it was a new one or he's been one that he's been to before or anything like that, and you find, I was actually gonna comment and then I didn't, and I'm just like, so he found like his
I
version of
thought you
Aslan.
were coming on, man. I thought it was going to be on. When I
No,
saw
but
you in the chat, I was like,
it,
oh, here it
no,
goes. I was like,
no, no, it
and
was
I was
great.
busy making like tea and stuff. And then I got up. I think when I went to grab the tea, that's when I came back and Zubak had him on the ropes, man. I was like, then I saw you in the chat.
Nah, Zubac was cool, man. Zubac was
I
great, man.
was like, oh, this is on. It's happened. It happened. Yo,
And then
this Sons of God, you are hilarious, bro. He said Zubak was giving him the replicant test from Blade Runner.
for real, yeah,
Oh
for
my
real.
goodness.
Yeah, man, it was unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
I mean, yeah,
Uh-huh.
CD, he says, Jose,
Uh-huh.
he got a question he said,
Yeah.
Jose and MD, what are your thoughts, and if it's worth it or not to spend the extra money on Mercedes BMWs?
Mhm.
I mean, I bought a Mercedes, and I don't think I should have bought it. When I look at it now, I should have bought a good car, but a newer car, because I didn't buy a brand new Mercedes. So, I mean, if I had the
Okay.
money to, yeah, it'd be different. But and I bought a okay Mercedes. It was it's a 5-speed CLK, hardtop convertible, 2-seater, supercharger, and it wasn't that expensive, but I would have bought, I should have bought, probably added a little more money and just bought a brand new, or a car that's like 2 years old, something like that. Yeah. What about you?
I mean, I look at it like it depends on, like how's your income doing as far as like, are you, how do I even say it, right? Like
Yeah,
if
if
it's,
I had the money, I would, if I had a lot of money, yeah, a brand new
yeah,
Mercedes Benz is dope. When
yeah,
I
no,
brought mine, I brought mine to the Mercedes dealer to get it fixed, like once or twice, to get it serviced, and they lent me, like, one time I put in a new air conditioner in it, so they had to, like, I guess, do a lot of work. So he goes, look, we're gonna give you a loaner car, and they gave me a much newer Benz, the ones that would shut off at the light and start again.
yeah.
I think it has like a delayed thing or something like that. But uh, you know, it depends. It depends. Like
Yeah, what I wanted to say is just, it's depending on a guy's, like level of income at the time. Honestly, you got to know because the repairs for, those cars, because the parts are not, um, like cheap in the sense of like the materials used to make them. It's a more expensive thing than maintenance. But if you once you have it like closer to stock or new, because you can get it used with depending on the mileage and how old in years, right? That it would still be a good purchase even used. But it depends, of course, level. When it comes to the car thing, you just want to be able to, if you gotta pay for a car, you don't want to have monthly payments on them. That's like the biggest thing when it comes to a purchase of a car. It's just you want to have basically no payments when it comes to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
monthly
yeah.
stuff.
Definitely got to be paid off. Yeah.
Have Yeah, just paying it off at the shop, because then the value of what you buy is so much better for you because you're not paying it off still month after month.
Mhm.
It's not really yours. You're obligated to have a full cover for the insurance. It's just it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's actually
I mean, if I have
mhm.
the money, having a Benz, it's fun because I didn't insure it because it was too much to keep two cars insurance. And like you were saying, I bought it. It wasn't expensive, but a brand new car, you're gonna pay payments most of the time unless you pay it off. In German cars, yeah, you could, yeah, yeah. Red Buller said, oh, yeah, the model, yeah, man, the stream, man, yeah, he was giving him. Yeah, you crushed it here, man. Zubek was giving him the replicant test from Blade Runner. He was. Oh my goodness, man. It's just
Yeah, I was shocked, man. I really was shocked about the whole. I mean, but it's like I've seen it's actually a trend for him. He doesn't realize that. He doesn't realize this about himself. Like, and that's what I was trying to say in the comments. It's like I think like he said, he turned 35, right, and he had a wake up call. And it happens to people. They call it like what, the midlife crisis. There comes, I think, a reality to where when because people are so conditioned, right, with the propaganda in our society about what they're told their lives should be like,
mm,
and that's when they have those. It's almost like they're so for a long time he fought a lot of the zombieistic things that the society tries to condition us, right? But then he was like he didn't want to keep this on.
are you there?
Yeah, he didn't want to keep the glasses on. Like it was like they live, like he was wearing. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. It kind of. Are you there? Oh, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. No, no, no. I'm here. I
Oh,
gotta mute the mic
super
real quick.
seeker consciousness. Yo, salute, brother. Always a pleasure, man. Yeah, shout out to Zubak, man. Zoo. Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, he definitely. Wow. Yeah, that I mean, it would be cool um to have Zoo come on, see what's up, Zoo. But yeah, I think what Mark was saying about the uh wait, where was it? The religious zombie? Wait, uh what had happened to that? Was it? Yeah, the religious zombies aren't the worst. I mean, it's possible because you got some people that say they're religious, but they're not really religious and they're very political. Politics is like a religion, but politics, we know that's really more of an authoritative zombie. That's what falls into that category because it's like the person trying to tell you th- what to do, basically. The authority, politics, and religion is the mental. With the see religion, you see it where it's psychological, but it's also like a branch into when you get the political religious zombie, the double spectrum zombie. Now you're dealing with somebody that is like is getting their mind is so deeply infected that you're getting the it's like somebody believing the they actually believe the crap that the government is saying, and then they got the religious infection on top of that. And the sad thing is some of them, if they have like a PhD or something, usually
Mhm.
they're a schoolhouse zombie as well. So that's a triple spectrum zombie. And yeah, Mark.
You're right.
Uh-huh.
Like you do, like with the shows, you do an amazing job at opening people's minds to understanding. Listen, you've been so conditioned to the way that you behave and you're probably not using your mind to critically think of certain situations in your life as they happen. And
Hmm.
sometimes we also don't understand that our emotions and spirits could get the better of us, you know? I
Hmm.
look at the thing that you're doing tonight with the topic of the music, and it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. People have mirrored their existence off of the culture that certain music genres have instilled into the masses of people through, the television, the square god of manipulation and projection, that if a person consumes consistently any kinds of materials, it eventually it's, saying that it's zombified, it's definitely a spell that's being casted on a person. But the zombie spectrum, what you got, that that you brought out, with being able to see that it's in our society, it's in our world, like that these things are in our world, that they're shown to us, and then we mimic an existence to try and find like a sense of fitting in, instead of saying, wait a second, why am I trying to copy the things that I'm seeing around me in this world, instead of, okay, understanding what it is that it is, but then still having a reflection in myself, like, do I really like these things, and do I agree with, with something that's here, because there's always a, like, an overall feel and a vibe to a lot of these things, and you can feel
Yeah.
that they're trying to to control the way you think. Basically, they're trying to
Hmm.
influence the way you feel
Yeah.
and the way you act.
Yeah. Alexis, my brother, thank you for the support, man. He says Jake was a hardcore black pillar and the religion zombie bite still affected him. It has to be the most dangerous type of zombie. Yeah, man. Religious. And I understand what Mark is saying, but yeah, you're right. And that's why I was like, yeah, man, the religion, not that I put it on the end, but I put it in a specific order when we see that religion can actually we saw like we were watching a zombie movie and Jake came in and it's like he came in after getting bit by the religion zombie from the girl. And yeah, man, I think somebody had left a comment, man, that said when like she had him under the spell before he even smashed or something like that. But yeah,
But
man.
that's what it was. Like, she's a
Yeah,
master of.
I would classify it as the most dangerous type of zombie, without a doubt. Thank you, Lexus. Yeah, definitely, man. That's
Well,
religion zombie is the most powerful. Like it's more powerful than the political zombie because people that might have woken up to something with some of the politicians are still possibly the same religion that they are. You see what I'm saying? Like they see that politicians will use religion to control people, and then they see that he eventually doesn't keep to his promises, but for somehow they forget or whatever, or they just say, okay, he's not a good Christian or a good, whichever religion he is, and keep on being religious. So the religious zombie grips the mind, and then for generations, yeah, man, the religious
what
zombie, man, might, yeah, it has to be the most dangerous type of zombie. Yeah, you're right, Alexis, definitely. It just, when I think about that, and I had it, when I put it on the spectrum, I mean, just looking at what it does to people. Alexis, brother, thank you for the support, man. He says political zombies came from the religious zombies. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because it's like it's like an example of church creating state and saying, "Oh no, we're separate. We're supposed to keep church and state separate." Meanwhile, it's like, no, the church zombies, man. What was the quote? I think it was Nietzsche. He said, "Nobody ever converts to a religion. They have to be sick enough mentally to accept it." And this is nothing against people that are religious, but it shows just how when somebody's at a point, if like somebody with a predatory mind can see how they can take advantage of that person, and even worse, some people know how to make people get into that state of mind where they can take advantage of them. Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, politics came from that. And it's like the medical. medical was kind of in there because scientific medicine, you have strict regulations, and then there are a lot of religious medical people too.
In all fields, you know what I mean? Like in all fields of society, it's all infiltrated by like an ingenuine idea to control people. You know, this is what nobody really like talks about is the way that the world seems to be constructed, where all these things are to control people and then to use and take advantage of them. You know, no, the people don't want to wake up. They want to stay in that state of mind where it's like, no, this is how it is for the better of us, and it's like, really, you know, like really, this is for the better of us. But you watch, things that are awful like happening in the world today, and you're like, and you watch that it's perpetrated by the groups in power, and then they just, you know, they the way that they treat the rest of the world and the majority of people, it just shows you that they could care less about the quality of life that the masses have, of not polluting the world, of not, like, causing it's a crazy world that we live in, that one day to the next it's something, stranger than bizarre world, literally. Because you know what I mean, you wonder, like, why is it that people don't get into this understanding?
Hmm.
But that's the power of the machine that casts the spell over people. Because this is from birth. Like, to wake up out of this,
Hmm.
it's like when Neo, right? It's when Neo woke up in the Matrix. It was like, why do my eyes hurt? It's like, because you've never seen before. You've never seen with them before.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know. I
He
won't be able
didn't.
to stay
Yeah, his
tonight, bro.
mind. Yeah, he didn't use his mind before, like seeing.
Hmm.
Yeah, and his eyes. It's like it kind of like a metaphor. When I remember when I saw The Matrix, and I was like, yeah, I was like, most people in the zombie thing, they never thought. So when they start to think, sometimes thinking is hard. And we also know some people might try to say it's conspiracy, in my opinion, that the government, there are experiments where certain electronic things can affect the way you think.
Yeah, the
Uh,
frequencies. Yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah.
frequencies. Like, these topics, right, that we have about that, and then the way that it correlates with music, it's vibration, it's manipulation,
Hmm.
it's to keep people in a state of mental zombification, that they're ready to act by impulse
Yeah.
instead of thinking, instead of and it shows us, the thing. And I was saying, man, I can't stay on late tonight, so
Yeah, yeah, no, that's cool, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. I'll go over some stuff on the music stuff, and yeah, yeah, we'll definitely talk soon.
you always, what I mean, like, you always have these shows that we explore the depths of these topics, man. And I just, I thank you so much for letting me, be on the shows, just to, help with you engaging in conversation and keeping the show going, and just the stuff that we get, like, out of nowhere, because you never know how good a show is gonna be. It just
Hmm.
it just
Yeah,
it
man. Yeah,
happens,
yeah, it's true. Last night we had a good one. The first half was good. The second half was like therapy session for Jake with it was straight what Sons of God said. It was Zuback, man. He was doing the replicant tests like from Blade Runner. That's hilarious, man. He really he got bit with, like what Alexis is saying. He got bit with the religion, the church bite. He got the church bite, and and you know, yeah, it happens, man. It happens. But see, in the mental zombie scenario, can a person, people have come back from it, but it's like this is the difference between being wise and smart. So if he were to do that and learn from it, he's smart. But if he can see it ahead of time, he can prevent from even doing that, and that's wise. So, but yeah, it just yeah, man.
even the state of mind, the way that we live as people will drive our existence, like, and that's what you explore with different versions of zombies, because you see that they put so much of their, and that's a crazy thing to think of, right? Because it's like, the analogy is of like, people selling their soul for a gain or something like
Hmm.
that, right?
Hmm.
But really, what if, it's not even a thing of your soul that was sold. It was just your soul is being controlled, or it's in bondage
Hmm.
by things you can't see that keep you from exercising a real ability of power to live and to be free from those chains of zombieisms and things that control and manipulate people's minds, in the world, and that kind of free thinking. It seems like I've always felt like if you ever started to mention stuff like that, you would just immediately be met with resistance and aggression from zombies that don't even want to like contemplate. It's like this is ridiculous. I think about that throughout my life, being younger, questioning authorities or questioning adults, and they would be upset because I felt like there was validity in just the fact of like, well, can you please explain to me, or just, question this kind of like, system of beliefs or what's really happening. Is it possible? And nobody wants to wake up to that. Nobody seems to want to wake up to that, and it's a crazy phenomenon. Like really, like we brought this to the front of so much of our attention.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're definitely right, man. It's yeah, the zombie thing is real, man. It's like when we look at it, it's very similar to the zombie movie. The more I look at it, I start to be like, man. And then when we see these real life instances, I mean, a little something that somebody can accept and be like, oh yeah, we all fall into that zombie is like if we're eating certain type of food. So we go, and it's very hard to just eat good. I mean, there's so many processed foods around. Uh, you can't avoid actually certain things, like especially with the microplastics, everything's in plastic. So basically, the fact that they're finding that in kids, it's microplastic city right now. Uh, yeah. So just like with
The worst
the
is the fact
yeah,
that they experiment on all of us since we're children.
yep,
You know, this is a serious thing.
yeah,
Just bring out in the sense of like, like if anybody should care, it's if like, like if you did care and you have family that's young, or you plan on having children yourself, like as a human being, obviously, then
uh-huh.
why don't you think about what's happening in the world that then your children, what they'll be brought into. And then you hear so many people say sometimes the reason why they're like, hey, I don't really want to have kids because honestly, do you want to bring kids up into this world the way that it is? And I'm not saying it still isn't a beautiful thing to have, a family and children, but I'm saying to myself, it makes you think about what's our world going to look like in another 5 years, 10 years, and nobody's, you know what I mean? Like, and you see, this is why, it'll not stay the same. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. That's the crazy part.
Hmm. Yeah.
I'm just gonna like,
Yeah, no, no, you I mean, when I look in your opinion, um
yeah,
that
my
yeah,
opinion, but
it
uh,
with the electronic stuff that's going on, I spoke to somebody on this other stream and oh yeah, I wanted to promote his stream. It's Cougar here, let me see if I can find the link. Cougar is Doomer, and we don't, I mean, he's a very smart guy. He's an older guy. I think he's in his mid 60s. And let me see. And yeah, he Cougar is a doomer. He's a 60 something year uh biochemist, like he did also software engineering. This is the link to his channel. Um and Cougar Doomer, or Cougar is a Doomer. He he he's he he has worked on projects that we were talking about today, that manipulate, and in my opinion, the the weather, like the geoclimate kind of thing, like the geoengineering. So and he's a materialist. He thinks, I mean, again, getting past certain beliefs like that are very hard for some people, but he's a very smart person in many other aspects. Yeah, so I said, let me throw the channel up there. We had a pretty good conversation. I did have a previous conversation with him where he kind of went off. I have a little bit of it. I want to ask the guy that has the podcast. Well, I'm going to commentary on it basically. Yeah, so that's his channel. And yeah, Cougar Doomer. Lieutenant Trans, what's up? Oh man, what's up, Amaze? Good to see you, man. Yeah, this late to the show. Hope all is well, MD. Any update on Scribe? Yeah, I spoke with him early today. I don't know if he's gonna come on, but uh, maybe tomorrow. You know, tomorrow I'm gonna do a religion zombies. Lexus was asking about it. Yeah, the religion one. You know, today, and we can talk about it too today. Yeah, the where's the pitch? Yeah, the oh wait, I have the clip of a video I made on AI. I had played it the other day. I got to put it all together to make it, and I'm going to narrate it to it. But I think this is the clip, 8-second clip of the religious one.
My brothers and sisters, can I get an amen?
So the religious zombies. I got another one that's better. We got the medical zombies, the cool. The zombie spectrum kind of shows us how it can affect. Like, look at the voting zombie. People will vote, and then they'll vote for the same candidate that didn't keep their promises from the first term. And this is them.
We must vote harder this time.
The zombie virus has no prejudice. It will it just it affects people in ways that come from different angles. It comes from the religious angle, the political angle, the medical angle, the scholastic angle, which is the schoolhouse zombie, media, the media zombie, man, media, all types of media zombie, music, movies, all type of fashion. That's a very large category, the music, the media zombies. Food, I would say most of us to some extent have been, there's hard to avoid that. I mean, the microplastic situation, the processed food situation, in my opinion, is really, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's at a point where it's like you have to be very careful on yeah, on not just what you eat, but the package that the food is coming in. And most of the time, people will consume junk food while watching media. Social media is just off the Richter scale. I mean, I look at it like this is a tool that people can use to help teach each other and share information. And the thing is that all people working together will get to a better answer just by thinking. You create the how two people create a third mind. I'm thinking, I don't know if I got the clip. Yeah, last night was definitely entertaining. It's entertainment basically. I mean, I hope yeah, hopefully if he comes back on, I mean, we can talk about why if the zombie bite is reversible, which in some cases no, and in other cases, yes, some people I think, yeah. So yeah, man, it just the music, when I think about it, like the effects that music also have is that people want to sometimes, not not all of the people, but I would say about a good 30% of people sometimes go through a phase where they want to become a musician of the type of music that they're addicted to, or that they like. So like people wanting to be a rock star or a rapper or pop stars. So we see that it has that, the influence goes that deep to where it affects people usually when they're younger, and they say, yeah, when I was younger, I wanted to do this type of music. And as they see, if they see within, maybe a few years, hopefully, that yeah, that whole business is running a different way. Sometimes you see people spend a decade and they're like in their 30s saying that, yeah, they're still trying to do it. Yeah, I think there was, I don't want to mention his name, but it's just, he, yeah, was like trying to be a rock star, and just now it's just, yeah. I'm just looking for the zombie chart thing. Yeah, the schoolhouse zombie, man, the high IQ zombie, that's basically the evolution type zombie. The person that, believes what they're told and will push that, because they, not only did they get a degree, they paid for a degree. They paid. And it's just like, man, what is up with that? If you pay to learn something, you should at least have the skill, not just, pay to zombify other people. It just I'm just looking for this other file. Yeah, we went through President is Pretend on the Secret Words book. Yeah, the zombie spectrum, man. It just I got to switch. This is an older picture that I made of it, because I put family first. Family was supposed to be first, and then friends second. Or, you can interchange it, friends, family. The order right there isn't as important, even with like politics and religion on the right side. Yeah. So it's let me see. I'm just Mr. X, what's up, bro?
Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm listening in the background, busy at work, but got a little break now. So thought I'd
Yeah.
hop on, see what's going on.
Yeah, man. Just going over some of the zombie spectrum. Jose was on earlier. Yeah, that was some crazy stuff with Jake last night, man.
I wish him the best, man. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I
Certainly
mean,
changed his tune, that's for sure.
yeah, man. He sometimes, I guess yeah, the zombie bite, a few people were saying that, yeah, that zombie bite, the religious zombie bite is some deep stuff. It
Well, here's
really
the
is.
problem I see with that religious zombie bite. The problem is that there is a creator. We know that. There is a mind outside the human mind.
Mhm.
But what is it?
Yeah.
And that's where people can fall into a trap with false preachers, people who try to give you the explanation, but they're just there for the money.
But did he
So,
say it was only the religious zombie bite, or was it? I thought it was something more.
oh,
Alexa
you're talking about
says,
Jake. You're talking about Jake. I
yeah,
was
yeah. He
just
says,
zombies in general.
Mr. X, your thoughts on Jake last night? Yeah, like, so was it? You think?
I think he's just entering the age. He wants kids, he wants a family, and that's kind of normal for a man. I think we're biologically programmed to have a wife and kids. That's what we've been doing since the beginning of time. It's just this small portion of time where things have gone upside down, but that's always been the goal.
Mhm.
Women say they have baby rabies, but I think men also have a certain, family rabies, whatever you want to call it. They want kids too. They want to pass on their genes. It's natural. It's biological.
Mhm.
What do you want to do? Live by yourself alone and die alone? I mean, that's not really what was planned. You know what I mean? That's kind of going against your biology in a way. So I understand,
Mhm. Yeah.
he's probably
Yeah.
looking past a lot of things that he
Yeah.
wouldn't have looked past
You,
before.
you know what? I think Zubak was more like he understood it, but he was just saying, yeah, like he was, the bravado. If somebody else, like before would have came on saying that he would have roasted him, but now he turned into,
100% agree with Zubak on
yeah,
that one. I
yeah,
100%
and he
agree.
kept it so cordial, man. Zubak is hilarious, man. He was Sons of God said he was putting them through the screener tests from Blade Runner, like the replicant tests, to make sure that he's not a replicant.
Oh, jeez.
It's hilarious, man. But yeah, it just I was like, wow. I didn't want to like interrupt too much, I just to let them know that, look, you got to stay within the guidelines of YouTube. We can't,
Of course.
basically all women are wonderful like that. And
Yeah.
then Alexis says Jake said he would never marry no matter what just months ago.
Yeah,
Now
he did to say that. He
yeah,
did say that.
yeah.
So he really backtracked. That's why you got to be
Oh
careful what
yeah,
you say. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And
yeah. And Zubek was like, he pointed it out. And excellently too, very, very academically. Yeah, but he just said, just a few months ago, just like, holy smokes. It's just the zombie bite. Well, I don't know. I think it was religious zombie bite, but probably something else too. Like because they were making comments about how he was already. Like, I mean, just for the conversation to go that deep, it's like, holy
of
smoke.
course. But here's the thing. Let's say it doesn't work out with this female. It ends badly, or just ends. She goes another way. He can't come back and start talking like the old Jake again. Because no, we got to call that out now.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to
It's
stand
over.
by. Yeah.
Yeah, it's over already. Yeah, it hasn't even. Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, that whole thing, and in a way, it's kind of. I mean, it lets us know that, hey, the zombie bite, whatever, and really it's kind of a manipulation. It shows you it's kind of hilarious because it kind of also teaches us we got to be careful. Like the zombie stuff is real.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, just hopefully, we'll get to talk again. Yo, Timbal is hilarious. Jake Cuddlesnake. Holy smoke, that's hilarious, bro. Yeah, I mean, I thought, when I didn't want to seem like, if because I was making tea and stuff, but when he had Zubak was on him, and I didn't want to jump in, it seemed like I was jumping into it. And then you came on, and then Azraroon, I don't even think got to say anything. Yeah, I thought Jose at that time, if he would have came, that would have been hilarious, man. Alexis says the religious zombie bite completely changed them. No hymen, no diamond into she's the perfect girl for me. Oh my goodness, I want kids with her. Yo, you are crushing it. Yeah, yeah. That because see that that was kind of holy smokes. Yeah, man. He just it was he was it was kind of like the Ric Flair. The Ric Flair just got man. Wow, that's it just cope approaches, right? Yeah. I have the this is the clips from the zombie thing. I just wanted to play it real quick that I made with the AI zombie spectrum.
It begins with family. The zombie virus spreads like a mental illness from member to member during our most formative years. And if anyone escapes, there will always be friends to spread the infection of stupidity far beyond the walls of our homes. Junk food accompanies us on a journey of zombification that transforms many people into junk food zombies, which, when criticized, can bring about an outbreak of zombified behavior. The zombie news reinforces this type of behavior because they themselves have been zombified. The glowing rectangles program people on a subliminal level until they can never stop watching the screen. Zombie entertainers are constantly broadcasted into the minds of our population to a point where people already know who to worship long before they enter obedience school, only to further bury the mind with lessons from zombified teachers.
Yeah, I just had to grab something for a second. Yeah. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. Let me see. I just got Lieutenant Trans. I'm not sure, man. Yeah, I mean, there are some questions. Yeah, it was definitely a dramatic change. Yeah, definitely a dramatic change. Like, holy smokes. Or just that the extreme of it, the extreme of going no Heim to dime to he got the Adderall. Oh my goodness, man. That's brutal.
Sorry, I just lost connection there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I couldn't hear a thing that was going on. So you brought up a video there about the music.
Yeah.
Oh. Do you think it affects women differently than men? Do you think they have a different reaction to it? Some of these lyrics, like maybe as men, we don't pick up on things that females can pick up on.
Yeah. Yeah, they get affected in a possibly like more of a way. Like they can be serenaded, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the dudes, it's like we're the serenadors, you know, I guess. But you know, honestly, music from women can affect men, like the sirens, you know, from the ancient legends type of. But they, you know, the beauty of them.
Oh, right. The
Yeah,
sirens.
you know, they that you know that they said would lure the sailors to the rocks. You know, they would be on the island, like
Mm-hmm.
you know, standing there singing. And yeah, Jamal, man, what's up, man? How's everything?
What's up, guys? What's up?
Hey, Jamal.
What's up, man? What's up?
What's new?
Yeah, man. I mean, what's new is just it's just last night's stream. That was a really good stream, even before Jake like came on. But like I wasn't there because I was busy that night. But I mean, like I heard that stream this morning. I was just like, what the heck happened to Jake, man? I was like, what in the world is this religious zombie? Like, holy crap, man! Like it's a 180 from the Jake that I knew just a couple months ago. It's insane. Like that's I mean like that zombie bite from going to church. It like it can even change a hardcore black pillar's mind into
Mm.
considering marriage and saying that this girl is perfect for him and everything like that. I mean, this is something that the Jake just months ago would never say, and he would
No.
flame people that would come on the stream that mention stuff like this. I mean,
I mean, Zubak
holy
called it
crap.
out. He was accurate, Zubak, about calling it out because he said he would roast anybody that would say what he's saying. You know what I mean? So yeah, Zubak did a good job.
100% he would have, man. Especially he would have started roasting them the moment they mentioned they went to church. And then Jake would have been like, oh, like that all them girls at church, they're all, like secretive like
Yeah,
W's, right? They're not, like they all like secretly go and get bangs and all this stuff. And
yeah,
I'm just like, this guy's falling right into the same thing, saying that he's
yeah.
taking this one, like church trick seriously. I mean, let's just say no hymen, no diamond, and the
Right.
all girls are that, right? And now he's over here saying that he's taking this girl seriously because she's different, I guess.
And she rejected him for, I think, sex. She was saying about, like, I'm not that type of girl anymore or something like that. I mean, Black Pill
And he still
101.
went back, and he still
Yeah.
invited her, and he still went out with her, and like even like but Jake said that when the girl doesn't give him sex on the first date, he immediately moves on and leaves her. This guy
Yeah.
is not getting sex at all, and he's still dating her and going out with her. Like,
Hmm.
oh my God.
He really has changed.
And
Ooh.
then he started talking about, like about having some type of spirituality and whatnot at the church, and how the church has like affected him. Like, holy crap, man. Holy crap. He is just that the religious zombie machine in church is just completely it it is insane. It is powerful. It can really affect you just how it seemed in Drake, man. Like like I already thought something was up when he mentioned going to church. I was like, oh, maybe he's just going there just to
Mhm.
smash chicks, I guess. It's Drake, and just holy crap, man.
I mean, I'll be honest, I never was with the, I won't say the acronym, but I was never with the all women or something. You know what I mean? I was never with that. You know what I mean? I don't like that because that expresses some type of anger. And I don't believe that's what the black pill represents. There's no anger here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
Yeah,
truth. So I was never really on board with that, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Same here. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, true, true, true. And I feel like that is maybe that was a little bit of what we call what like red pill rage, right?
Yes,
Where like where a
exactly.
person goes through that, and I guess now he's going on to the next step where he's kind of he's kind of like reverting back into kind of like a some type of zombie, I'm out
But he
because
can't
a
go
lot of these.
back now. He can never go back
Yeah,
to
I
the old
know.
ways. Like I told MD, he cannot do that now. We
Yeah.
got to call him out for that because no
Yeah.
way, if this something doesn't work out with this girl, he can't go back to his old Jake ways. We won't
Yeah.
allow that.
He can't be Ric Flair anymore.
No.
Yeah, yeah, he can't. I mean, like he can't go back. He can't say that all girls are like that
Or
anymore because
something. Yeah.
now, yeah,
Mhm.
because he was willing to take this girl seriously, proving that he doesn't see her as that type of girl that he was saying that all girls are like, showcasing that is a flaw in his argument. That not all girls are like that, and it's just like and just beyond that, just I mean. Jake in general is cannot, like criticize guys for looking to get
Hmm.
married anymore either because he himself fell right into the same trap where it's like, oh well, this girl is different. She's perfect for me, right? That's what every single guy that gets married says. Even the red pill guys, if you look at them, they all say, "Oh, normally I would never get married, but this girl is different." Like they
Hmm.
all say the same thing, and Jake is doing the same thing. Was magically he found a unicorn that's different than every other girl that he can take seriously and that he can get married to.
Hmm.
Like it's just when he started talking about he was considering marriage, that's when I knew he had
Yeah.
full blown zombie. Because even if you like the girl, why get married? Right? Just take the relationship seriously. There's no marriage needed.
Hmm.
Marriage is a zombie
That's right.
idea implanted into our brains that is a requirement for you to take a girl seriously when it's has zero effect on your relationship other than making it a transactional relationship.
Exactly. Exactly. And don't get me wrong, I like Jake. I think he's great for debates. I get a kick out of him. I love, like I love a good laugh. You know what I mean? And him against Spurgeezy would be a classic. You know what I mean? But you know, the whole all women or something is not. That part I never liked. I'll be honest with you, I never liked
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
I
that if he
told him.
can leave
Well,
that out of it,
yeah.
he's fine.
Well, that part of him is now dead. Like if he even tries to bring that up on stream, we will make sure that we check him and say, listen, man, you can't say that no more. You can't say that you're in support of it no
Yeah.
more because you have pretty much told us that you're no longer a part of that lifestyle. So
Hmm.
you can't bring it up anymore, right? So I mean, like that part of him is dead, right?
Right.
So and real quick, we have not that guy. He says, speaking of music zombies, I've noticed that even in Hispanic music, we got music zombies
Oh,
all over the world,
Bad
man.
Bunny.
I mean, there are music zombies and even computer, like technology places where it's just like tribes. Trust me, they're still out there playing music and doing all this crazy stuff with the and stuff like that. Man, these guys, there are music zombies all over the world, and music is, it's a form of mind control where they slip in little things in there and whatnot, and it's just it's a way to control you and there's a lot of songs that have meanings that have actual meanings in there if you look into the lyrics and whatnot, but people don't. They just hear the beats and the beat is like some type of like some type of like hypno control, something like that, right? It's like it's it changes you, right? Like when I'm driving, depending on the music, my whole vibe is different.
Mm,
It controls you in a very
yes.
subtle
Yes.
way, very like subtle way. Like if you play angry music, you're gonna
Hmm.
just feel more angry even when you're not angry. If you play calming music and angry, you're gonna feel more calm. Like these things have a proven effect on you.
Well, MD probably
So
remembers this song, "Eye of the Tiger." Does he ever feel different when he listens? I always feel different when I hear that song. I don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah,
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 "Eye of the Tiger." It's such a, I don't know, it gets you pumped up. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Have you
yeah.
heard that, Jamal? "Eye of the Tiger"?
yeah, I mean everyone has.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't know
Yeah.
if you were an '80s kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Think they orchestrated that music for the Rocky movie when
Yeah.
he's getting hyped up to fight,
Right.
and Eye of the Tiger. There's another like song in there where it's like I think it's called Running Strong Now or something like that. And
Mm.
the music is meant, Eye of the Tiger, it does, you're right. It gets you hyped up and then you think, okay, well what the fact that it's used in a movie about a guy fighting and we see that the example of that, we say, holy smack, wow, because we're seeing in the movie they're trying to program us by caring about a fight, whatever this guy's life, but also the fact that we could listen to that music without watching the movie and we can get that feeling again, like you were saying, get kind of hyped up.
Yeah.
Um, Timbo says, yes, definitely all about the frequency and how it interacts with our biofield, plus the lyrics that go into our subconscious. Yeah, man. The beats and all of that, man, they have some really good research on stuff about that.
Hmm.
And really with the experiments, we see these
Yes.
people, yeah, being controlled.
Did the Nazis use that too? I know they used it in the concentration camps with, I shouldn't have said that word, but to like, they played classical music when people came in, I believe. They played, that's what they did to make people calm.
Wow.
That might be a sensitive subject. I might be careful about that, but yeah. Yeah, that they did
Wow.
play classical music for a calming effect. So,
And it's very unnatural nowadays when people put, the music directly straight to the ears using earbuds or headphones. They put the stuff straight to their ears, just
mhm.
pounding the music into their brains. This stuff is very unnatural. It's very unhealthy for your ears to be interacting with sounds like that. And once again, it's
Oh yeah.
further mind control, especially with Bluetooth. Like I've already exposed how Bluetooth is something that no one should ever use at all. We know that Bluetooth is unsecure. The vice president of the United States confirmed it on a talk show that they can hear what you say on Bluetooth. And
Mm.
but beyond that, like it's a weapon that's used to mind control everyone else with the type of music that you can put directly to your ears.
Yeah.
It's not healthy. I every time I avoid wearing headphones or earpieces, Mr. X, you are at work, obviously, so you have to probably keep an ear piercing and whatnot in.
Yeah, I
But
do.
but you don't listen to music, right? You just listen to the podcast or YouTube videos. So it's like,
Yeah, I mean, I still listen to music when I work out. I'm not going to lie about that, but it's mostly a lot of '70s and '80s stuff. You know what I mean? But I
yeah.
still, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, "No, I stopped listening to music." No, I still do listen to music. So,
Yeah.
Everyone
yeah.
does. I mean, everyone does. To be honest, like, I
Hmm.
mean, even I like listen to music. But to me, when I listen to music, I always try to put it on some type of speaker. I don't try to listen to it with any type
Hmm.
of headphones or earpieces. But I mean, but music is just unavoidable. And everyone, even on this stream, we all have our like favorite songs that we listen to at least once in a while, right? I mean, come on,
Uh-huh.
like we're only human, right?
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah, we're all human.
Yeah.
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
And Miss X is right. The that song gets you hyped up and to work out and stuff too. Yeah.
Makes you almost
mhm.
feel
And
invincible, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Well, certain songs, yeah.
Hmm.
We're seeing that's examples like showing us like, wow, somebody, it's so like basically it's a mind control disguised as a song.
Yes.
Wow. That's just like holy smokes.
yep, and the music too, like a lot of songs that go viral, are these like really simp songs where like the guy is constantly begging for the girl's attention and singing about the girl, whatnot. This stuff once again subconsciously changes the men to think that girls are attracted to stuff like this. And then you have the other songs where a lot of times in the black community, a lot of the top artists of these like plant, rappers and whatnot that are just talking about, shooting people and selling drugs and all that other stuff. This stuff is some type of mind control to get the people in the black community to further that lifestyle. And it's just,
But hasn't
like
it
this.
worked though, Jamal? I mean, in your opinion, hasn't it really worked? I mean, we see it
Oh,
in real life. It's kind of
completely.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's really ridiculous. I mean, that's on another level. I mean, I'm not from the community, obviously, but we all have eyes. We see what's going on. It's out of
Yeah,
control.
it's getting worse. And it's getting worse because we have these artists that are purposely putting this disgusting lyrics and music into the young black boy and black girls' minds. I think that this is how this is
Hmm.
normal. This is how black people should act. You know,
Right.
you should only do crime. And it's once again causing more division within the people.
And a lot of these rappers too are not are hetero. They're not the hetero. Or I'll
No,
be careful with
no.
what I say. They're not. Yeah.
And the multimillionaires acting like that they still live in the hood.
Yeah.
Like I mean, come on now. Like this, like people buy this stuff because the music
Hmm.
makes them inspired to be like that. And
Yeah.
it's just brainwashing. That's all it is. And the music zombies are just, like the music zombies are just like there's people that can't even go like 1 minute without some type of music playing. Like it's very important that you have at least a period of time every day that you are just out
Mhm.
by yourself. You don't hear much. You just there with your thoughts. But there's a lot of people I've seen where they have to have headphones on everywhere they go. They have to have earpieces on. They have to constantly be speaking or hearing things, and it's just it's not healthy.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot. People are. It's like they're zombifying themselves. I mean, I understand. I mean, even to a point that's messed up. The people that do surveillance, they have to wear it. The signal, that's not really healthy, in my opinion. And then also, like we were saying, the other effects. If somebody's listening to music, yeah, man. Alexis, Tupac, yeah, definitely zombie artist, man.
He was a
Definitely.
ballerina too. Originally, he wasn't a rapper. He was a
Hmm.
ballerina.
Are,
Yeah.
are there any non-zombie artists?
I don't think so.
Think so either.
The mainstream, they have like they're, you know what I've noticed they are? They're zombies that make music for zombies. To because when you think about it, somebody that they might most of them genuinely think they're like, look, they like to do that, and then they allow themselves to get manipulated, and it's like they're zombified, thinking, hey, I'm gonna, make music, and I like to make music, and then there becomes a point where they're just now an instrument of creating more zombies. And we've seen that change happen in all entertainers almost. Um, you look at somebody like when they first get in the industry and then look at them afterwards, it looks like a very different person.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you see Ariana Grande, she's just completely skeleton, man. Like I mean, like holy crap, like she completely changed. Like I saw a video of her just pop up in my recommended like a week ago. What she looks like now, I'm like, she looks completely different. She was one of the top artists for the past like 10 years.
Honestly,
Completely
I
changed.
wonder, it's like, is it an experiment? Are they
Well,
experimenting on her?
well, we know that they're experimenting on pretty much most artists and famous people with their like
Mhm.
significant others. They always look weird and they look like
Mhm.
Transformers and whatnot. And it's just like we know there's some type of experiment with these people when and I've always been of opinion of that these people signed some type of contract, they got blackmailed, or they just made a deal with some type of devil or whatnot, and they have to, they get rich, they get known, but the issue is that they have to follow whatever orders they're given. And sometimes if that means they have to go and act like they love this person, they have to go and act like they love this person. You know, they can't, if they try to, they can't like deny it, you know? So it's just, that's why you see a lot of these like rich people, like for example, Jeff like Bezos. I mean, just his wife is, you know, of my opinion, to his wife looks like a transformer, man. It's like, I mean, that's just like an obvious transformer. The French president, the head of one of the most powerful countries in the world, has unlimited options with any single chick, but he chooses a
Well, I think,
transformer looking
is it
chick.
true that
Hmm.
Candace Owen proved that his wife used to be male or something like that? Was that like a story or something like that? Here, let me see if
There's been a lot of evidence that I mean, there's been a lot of evidence that she was a male, and there's a ton of evidence that Obama, just you know, once again, the head of the most powerful nation on earth, unlimited options that that is a male as well. So it's just yeah, it's I mean, there's just a lot of stuff, man. When it
Actually,
comes to
I
that.
can shed some light on this topic because I was watching all of her shows about it. Oh, and what's up, everybody? But
hey, what's up?
yeah,
Welcome.
so like Candace Owens, she proved that basically that she was a man because she didn't sue her back, or he didn't sue her back. And also, more importantly, Brigitte Macron is also a chomo. Like, you know, there's a huge
We
age
got to stay
difference
within
there.
the
Oh, okay, sorry.
yeah, the YouTube
Yeah,
guidelines.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's very, you know, there's a lot of other offenses there, but for sure, she
Is
did
this just
prove.
your opinion, or are there links to it, or?
Well, if you look at the ages and stuff like that, she said that if you look at how they met because he was like 14 and in a play, or there was a play that she watched that he was in. I forget the exact.
Yeah, I thought there was a story, but Google's saying now that there's no proof. But I thought there was some way that she figured it out, or like I don't know if it was a medical thing. I'm looking up for the
Well, they were able to prove too that there was also a brother that was in the family that basically disappeared on records at a certain point. And so, you know, they're saying like basically there's no record of Brigitte. There's a record of this brother, Jean.
That's crazy. I mean, it's kind of funny when I look at it from a comedy standpoint to be like, man, she's accusing this dude's wife of being a man, and it's like it's funny in a way because when I think about it, it's like, yeah, something. Is this comedy or what? It's just crazy. I mean, politics is crazy, man. I mean, people are. It's a circus. I mean, it is a circus everywhere. When I look at the stuff and look at all four of the parties: Trump, Biden, Kamala. All I mean, you look at it's like what is this? Is like a sitcom basically. It's
Well,
basically
Brigitte is actually 25 years older than he is, I believe.
who the French president's wife.
Yes. Yes.
That's some crazy stuff, man. I mean, yeah, it really, when I think about it, you know, with the Secret Words book that I had wrote, there was a part that I talked about, you know, I was doing anagrams on politicals, you know, one of the chapters, let me see if I got it, is politics. So there was a politics meme here. I'm uploading it, and it says French politics prolific stench. Now you can make the words from French politics and spell the words prolific French stench, and vice versa. I don't think that's a coincidence. It's like letting us know that politics is not totally honest at the least. But when we take it to the next level, we say, okay, this French politics words spell prolific stench indicating in a way like, okay, something's rotten, something's rotten in Denmark or in France. Then if you take German politics, you can respell it to spell liars competing. How is this? I mean, this is the power of secret words that when I saw this, I said, I got to compile this into a book to even, to ask people and to educate them, to say, wait a second, this is a mystery. Like sometimes there'll be researchers that kind of, they stumble onto something. In our language, the fact that you can take the US presidential election and just respell it into elite hustlers in a deception, and I color coded it so people could see it easier. And then you go to German politics, liars competing, French politics, prolific stench. That's crazy.
That's really, really interesting.
Yeah. It makes me wonder, right? It's like it's beyond it's beyond chance. Chance is 25%. So there aren't many other words that can be spelled that actually say that. So, or have like a meaning like that. It's sort of like it's really, I mean, it's a hard one because it's so unbelievable. It's saying, wait a minute, how can somebody hide a code in the language where, like, silent, of course, can be respelled into listen. Democracy can be respelled into comedy car. The Republicans respelled into the spin club. So, the secret words are real. There's some type of thing within. Alexis, brother, thank you for the support, man. He says, MD, does dancing zombify us? Is it a ritual? To an extent. There are some dancing that, yeah, it makes you feel good. And I would think that feeling good for 2 minutes and not like totally zombifying, like going out and just dancing, it's like that's kind of zombie stuff. But listening to a song, but too much, definitely. And ritual, that's the part. That's the part. Ritual is like the music can put us into a ritual, basically. Can it be controlling us that much to where we're just like, to make somebody like it, the way sugar it can addict us because it's sweet and it tastes good. There's music that tastes good to our musical taste buds. And that, if when you think about it, music scientifically is playing to that, saying, hey, Alexis, man, yeah, there's music, it does. The dancing to an extent, but the ritual music, it's sort of like saying this music is going to make this person move their body in this manner. And if we're looking at it purely scientifically. And it's like this is what we see happen. Involuntary music that has people, KAI, teach can be respelled into cheat. And teacher can be respelled into cheater. So you wonder and you say, how is that possible? It's like, why is it? And a lot of these words are kind of warning us in a way. If we, the fact that the U.S. presidential election can be respelled, and that's the key, respelled. So the spell can be recasted, like language is a spell. So one part of the spell can cast and spell the U.S. presidential election. Another spell, a spelling of this word, of these letters, actually, because they can be rearranged. So these letters can actually be respelled into elite hustlers in a deception. So the language itself seems to have been created by some sort of spellcaster in a way, for lack of a better word. And that's why I wrote the book Spellcaster and then Secret Words with the Anagrams, because this is so far from coincidence. This is like a secret message, because what do we see? So now if we had a society where every presidential election you wouldn't have an elite hustler in a deception, then I could be like, well, it's not related. But that's basically what mostly, some, in my opinion, that people would think presidential elections are: elite hustlers in a deception. And this is not my, I'm showing that these letters can be respelled into that. And to me, it's kind of like, holy smokes, the fact that is telling us, okay, this word that deals with a presidential election the letters can be respelled into it, like if something's warning us, like if somebody wrote a secret message. And then we say, okay, let's look at other political, French politics, something rotten over here, prolific stench. German politics, liars compete. It's amazing that this can be respelled and spelled these things. It really is the spin club, basically. Just a total. It's like it's so crazy that it doesn't seem to be true. It's very hard. Like I'm researching it, and Drew, who came on the show and we did a live stream before, and perhaps scrambled. Like, it clearly. I have a feeling certain people in certain clubs are wise to this. For instance, when recordings are played backwards and messages are heard, these people study English forward and backwards. Yeah, that. Even scrambled. See, this is and perhaps scrambled. See, so this book is basically looking at it scrambled, because these two words, I color coded it on the bottom. So the top, just the two phrases, the elite, elite hustlers and the deception, scrambled spells the U.S. presidential election. And just the president to say, look, it's pretend. It's so far beyond anything what they would consider to be chance. It's man, it's kind of it's really crazy, man. Anything on your mind, Ruma? Or
Not especially. I was just I saw that you were doing a stream about the music zombies, and
yeah, so what type of music zombies have you exhibited?
well, I know people that like listen to music to the point where, I don't know, like I guess they're like more obsessed with it. I'm not really into music that way. But I do believe that there are hidden messages in music, and that people that do become famous at that level are, obviously controlled to an extent, and the music is controlled to an extent. Um, Obviously is like part of Hollywood. Um, I don't know. I just, yeah, that's, I mean, that's pretty much what I think. Once you get to that level with it, you're obviously being controlled, and you're being used, you know, to message the masses and influence the masses. I feel like that's how things have been brought about, as far as like gay people and different things that they've made okay, through like movies, music, things like that. I think they use for those things. And then obviously a lot of the music artists,
they push like a secret agenda kind of.
Yes, and I feel like they had to make some kind of some kind of deal to get there, because a lot of those people clearly aren't talented.
I mean, when you look at the change, like you've noticed the change, like when Justin Bieber started to the way he looks now, Miley Cyrus to the way they look. It's great.
Oh yeah, that's so true. Yeah, it's so sad. You can really see that they've been through it.
Like something drained the life out of them or something.
You can really see it in a lot of the people, especially that started as kids, because that had to be dark.
Yeah. I mean, and then they're making this product that's controlling the minds of the youth, because the people that listen to the music, I think most of us listen to music in our 20s, and now that same music musical instrument is more highly addictive, like ridiculously more. And with all the different genres, it's just and the accessibility to it. So basically, if we're looking at music like a drug, it's accessible, like to the
Mhm.
point of knowing. I remember as a kid, there was a radio or a cassette player. So you had to either have you'd have to have it pre-recorded or listen to a radio that there was only a few stations. Television didn't really have that much. I mean, it had MTV in the 80s, but um, not like compared to the amount of music you can get today. It's just ridiculous. It is, and with the ease you can get it too. So now, instead of having like, we look at it in just a couple of decades earlier, where you would have to put a cassette into the cassette player and close it and play it, and then now it's like so much more simple. You're using like a tiny little, I mean, you're using a wave. You're getting like, it's like a miniature radio that people are holding to their head. It's ridiculous. It's pretty, yeah.
And can
Yeah.
I
I
mention
think
what
there's like,
Rumor mentioned something important there? I just want to say what you mentioned, Rumor, about they're not the most talented. You know, I look at somebody like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. These are two childhood friends who grew up in the same town in Cambridge. What's the chances of two childhood friends both becoming mega stars? It's like, no, I think they
right?
made a deal. They made a
Right.
deal with whatever you want to call it, but it was some type of ritual. No, it's planned out. So I agree with you 100% on that, that they're not the most talented. I said that about actors, and it and also goes with musicians. It's not always the most talented that make it to the top.
I always thought that was really strange too.
Hmm.
Yeah, the nepotism, the fact that Tom Hanks is related to Abraham Lincoln's mother, and George Clooney is also related to his mother on the step, like he's like a half of a brother or a cousin, but he's related. You know, you look at that, it's like, so people that are related to a president, that that and they're so prominent A-list actors. They both
Yes.
definitely, yeah.
There's something in the bloodlines. There's definitely something in the bloodlines that the occult, whatever you want to call it, the secret societies value. There's definitely there.
Mhm. Yeah. Mickey Mouse Club, yeah. I remember the Mickey Mouse Club. That was like what the Justin Timberlake, Mandy Moore, Britney Spears crew.
Christina Aguilera. And then
Hmm.
Jessica Simpson failed the audition, but she was going to be in it.
Wow,
Somebody else. There were a bunch of people. Somebody from NSYNC was in it. A lot of them.
that's crazy.
Look at Leonardo DiCaprio. He was a childhood star when he was young. He was a young kid. He was in some movies. He was in a movie with Robert De Niro. I can't remember the name of the movie, but
Hmm.
he started out very. A lot of these childhood actors, they start out very young and became megastars. Same with Johnny Depp and everybody. Yeah, they're selected at a very early age. Johnny Depp actually dropped out of high school. He's a high school dropout.
Wow.
It's really crazy because honestly, like I wasn't really thinking about a lot of this stuff. You know, I was kind of a zombie myself up until maybe like there were some things like I knew 9/11 wasn't real, and there was, obviously some of that stuff, but
Yeah.
just how far it goes is just I don't know, like once you really get a grasp on how crazy it
Yeah.
is, you feel like you just, I don't know, it's like being knocked
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. If you're believing what they're telling you about a certain event without thinking about it, it's the beginning of zombie. It's to say, okay, we know it happened, but how it happened is being told to us in a different way. And that's with a lot of things. We look around and it's just like, holy smokes. And music is just It's everywhere, like Jamal was saying. It's everywhere. And when I try, like if I do listen to it, it's definitely not with the headphones. The headphones is too zombie. It just I think that guy said Nickelodeon, yeah, feet picture. That's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, a lot of people end up having breakdowns. You look at the whole Corey Feldman um, and the other guy, the Goonies. Yeah, a lot of them, right?
Yeah, Corey Haim and Corey Feldman,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
no, Corey Haim
exactly.
wasn't in Goonies. What was the other guy in Goonies?
And then you had
I think
yeah,
Corey Feldman. Yeah, it's a lot of the child act, but you know, like Amanda Bynes from Nickelodeon. Clearly she lost it. Like, bless her heart, she's she's all over the place these days. Um, a lot of them.
that's crazy. Yeah, Kanye, the
He's a
change,
clone. He's a clone.
he changed a lot. You see, that's the change too that we were saying. You look at some of these stars, and you look at them later, and they do look different. They definitely look different. The whole, I mean, you think about it, that person is used to control the minds of a lot of people with the music. The musical zombie thing is real. And it's so crazy. It's just like a zombie movie because we're saying, wait a second, just like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but it's invasion of the of the mind. And when you try to talk to somebody about it, they're a zombie already because they're listening to music with the with the headphones. And we all have done it. We all have been kind of zombified at times. You know, we listen to music, and there is a point where, yeah, okay, I'm exercising or I'm doing this, but like we talked about on the other stream, that you do have to be careful with now the electronic part of it, because if it's you're listening to music, so that can cause trauma to your ears if it's loud, and your ear will pump blood to the area in the air to protect it. But if the music is too loud, it'll affect you. Now, if you're exercising, the blood is being forced to other parts of the body. And now your ear is not going to have the protection that it needs from listening to the music that the person is listening to while they're exercising. Therefore, there's a book called The Power of Sound. And this, a lot of scientists, you know, he did research, and anybody can check the links online, that there are experiments showing this. And it makes common sense too. So more than the scientific experiments is to say, yeah, if music, just listening to loud music can mess up your hearing, but most people say, oh no, their hearing is still all right. But the other ones that do damage their hearing, most of the times they don't attribute it to listening to loud music while they exercise through headphones. They'll, a lot of times it's hard to make the link, but the studies are out there. The studies are out there.
That's really interesting. I have a question. I don't know if anybody on the panel knows about this, but since we are talking about music zombies, I think it's probably appropriate. But have you seen the channels that play the music in certain frequencies? Like they say that certain frequencies are better for you to listen to than others. Do you
Yeah.
think that maybe the music zombies, like, are they doing, like, putting out the music in a bad frequency, or do you think there's any truth to any of that frequency thing?
Yeah, I think there has to be. I mean, music, like, yeah, Alexis is, yeah, it's like music is a drug. It's a drug. It is, yeah, it really, the stuff, yeah, and Timbo, you're right.
Yes,
The
Timbo, that's
430,
what I'm talking about. I
yeah,
guess
yeah.
I don't understand.
No, the 432 hertz I've heard that being to be the best. Timbo saying 432 versus 440. So 440, I think, is what they changed it to. And if you listen to Mozart, they have it on YouTube with 432 hertz. And I think, I've listened to it, and it's supposedly I've heard it's supposed to make you feel better or be like more natural, right? Is that what you heard?
That's what I heard. I guess I'm just confused about how that works, and I'm wondering if the music zombies like purposely use a different frequency than the one we're supposed to have. And I just wonder why they changed it. I don't know. It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I think they might have changed it to try to zombify people to say, okay,
Right.
we and that's the thing, showing us that something is orchestrating this. They're using,
Mhm.
it's disguised, Mr. X.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was looking things up because they say the negative hormonal effects of stressful sounds, loud, intense music, or loud, intense noise can cause increasing cortisol and adrenaline, creating a fight or flight response. So,
Wow.
yeah, so it does have an effect on our hormonal system, and that would be interesting to look at. I mean, soothing music has beneficial, but some of the loud, intense music can really yeah, it says here it increases stress hormones and adrenaline, so you want to fight. And I think we see that too in some of the intense music we listen to. It gets people
Yeah.
riled up.
Right, because people
Definitely.
are just so like more hateful these days, and they're not as considerate and polite, like well mannered as they used to be. I think everybody says that when they get old, but I I really feel that way. I don't know.
Hmm.
It gets worse and worse.
Yeah, I think something is conditioning. Like it's definitely we see that type of behavior, but then the next step is to say, okay, is it that these people are just angry people or just acting in this manner because they're just only disrespectful, right? Now, or could it be when we look deep at like just a neighborhood or a town and we say, wow, we're all being conditioned. There's you know proof of magnetic like weight radio waves. Professor Delgado talked about that with the wireless control and making the bull act in a certain way. Why wouldn't that be applicable to people? And of course they're not going to tell us when it's happening. And then to have it be disguised in music, so literally we're buying our own brainwashing program and programming ourselves with it more and more. Like I've listened to songs more than once in a row when I was younger. And then I think maybe, I don't know, because you get older and you break the spell. So it's like, okay, I don't listen to it as much, but some people still listen to music a lot. I've listened to some music a couple of years ago, like throughout the last couple of years. There have been spurts of listening to it. And I can understand if it makes you feel good, then great. But too much of a good thing, we already know. So yeah, the music zombie is there. I mean, we saw the religious zombie with Jake. Yeah, it's like the zombie. Yeah.
Well, when you think about it, like these are all things that have like great influence on people, which I guess is why either they were controlled in the first place or they were infiltrated, right? I mean,
Mhm.
all all the things on the zombie list.
Yeah, the whole zombie spectrum,
Yeah.
friends, family, food,
Like if
media.
you look at that list, like that's a really influential list on a person's life. Like each one of those things just even separately.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. And that's why I had created this saying that, okay, I was able to eventually shield my mind. Like I knew growing up that I was a zombie, but I didn't know I was a zombie. So I know now, like, okay, yeah, man, I was zombified playing video games and listening to music, buying cassette tapes sometimes, and not crazy, but it was zombie. It was sort of like I look at that like, wow, they do this stuff to like keep you occupied or to distract you. So one is to say, okay, why are they distracting me? Making money definitely seems like to be the main thing, but also could it be that to lessen competition, maybe that could actually develop into somebody that's very, very smart in a certain area. So it's like uh, an ingeniously way to disguise people to limit the intelligence of the people around them, like a sort of like a knowledge filter that people keep other people in line. Like, and we see that with the belief. So you got people, and in the beliefs, like we see that politics, it's psychological. The whole, Robert Greene talked about that very good in his 48 Laws books. And, so we look at that like, wow, politics and in religion, we know is a belief, but it's a belief that people will say, okay, yeah, I believe in this. So it doesn't require proof. And they're right, because it's a belief. And we know it's not true, but now when they say no, it's true, so you're saying, wait a second. You were just telling me that it's a belief and it's not based on fact. So, okay, it could be wrong. It could be something a little different just to make you feel better. Like, okay, maybe it's the type of heaven you want to go to or the type of place. We don't know, but it's based on a mental belief. Politics is more zombifying in a way, some ways, that because they don't even believe it's a belief. They think it's like law, like a law abiding mathematical thing working to the benefit of the people. Meanwhile, we see it's like some tyrannical type of stuff used to push certain agendas. Medicine, we're all, something happens, you already know. You got to go and be, get well, if it goes. And that's the tax we pay for not understanding the human body and understanding what they're feeding us and all of that. So it could also be as simple as just not eating certain things that they push on us, because they push so much stuff through the food part of the zombie spectrum to get us to the food, and the medicine part are linked, because most of the time people get older, and from eating processed foods and stuff like that, or using some type of product, it can affect you to where you got to go and become a medicinal zombie. And then school, media is just ridiculous when I think about it. The media part of the zombie spectrum. But yeah, I have a few more things.
Can I ask Rumor, what's her opinion on evolution? Does she believe in it or not?
I don't. I did it one time, like a long time ago, but I don't believe in it. It's ridiculous.
Oh, good. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's a
I do
religion.
think it's ridiculous. I don't know. It took me a while to kind of figure that one out. Like I said, it was only a couple years ago that I really got the scope of how crazy it all really was.
Mhm.
But let me ask you this, like, okay, so we're talking about all these things, the music and the movies and all these things that make us zombified. All right, and I can give you a really good example of this. Like, for example, the Wizard of Oz movies. Okay, the second one just came out, part 2 or whatever. Wicked. And obviously Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, the whole cast is weird.
Yeah.
They're all like anorexic and weird. The interviews are weird. They're all weird. But like when I watch the movies, like I love the movies. Like I cry and I love the movies. Does that make me like stupid or a bad person? Like I know that
No, I don't
it's
think
all
so.
brainwashing, or like, so can you still like participate in all these different things and know that they're fake? Like, can you eat the steak in the Matrix anyway, and is that okay, or does that make you bad or weak or anything,
Well,
or unprincipled? I don't know. Like,
no, I wouldn't say it's totally unprincipled, but we know that it can be controllable. We know that a person can be easily controlled to hurt or keep another person in the state of mind um, that whatever controllers is behind the scene wants us to stay in, because we're in a type of mental experiment, it seems like. And
yeah, I agree with that a lot.
yeah, society, they're hitting us with the food, with the pollution in water, in environment, carpets and off gassing, the fact that other people, like just the way I try to show about stuff in the words, you have these other people that they show stuff in society and they're like, wait a second, look at this rug here is dangerous. They did tests with mice. Now my sister, one of my sisters, I noticed she had allergies. So when she got married, I guess to make her allergies better, somehow I guess she realized or somebody told her and she accepted to say, okay, let me try this because I guess the allergies were so, crazy. And she didn't have any rugs. She had only wooden floors or tiled floors. So it eliminates whatever can hide in the rug that is an allergen, but also whatever the rug is made with, and that's the crazy part. If you got a natural rug, great, but still you have to keep it extremely clean because of the buildup. But if you got a rug that's outgassing stuff that's not safe to inhale, which is shown in these tests with lab mice in experiments. So anybody can look it up on Google to see. But this is part of the media spectrum, like the media spectrum here. I said, okay, it gets more like this spectrum expanded shows how media consists of in the yellow, movies, music, television, internet. The internet has taken over the movies and music category. The internet is just ridiculous on this level. Now, as you go deeper into the internet category, it has subdivisions. The movies, you got drama, romance, comedy, horror, sci-fi. So each different type of genre seems to be specifically made to zombify or try to zombify a certain part of your mind or control it, if that's a better word. Music, you got rap, rock, pop, techno, country, and you got a lot more too. This is just a basic to let people see, oh, this is a chart that lets people know. Like,
that's really interesting. That's a cool chart.
Thanks. And to make this chart, this is a picture I made. I had to be able to shield my mind from the zombies because the zombies can zombify the mind. And then once my mind was shielded, I was able to enhance my vision. So the mental vision, kind of like the glasses that allow you to see something that is there, but you don't see it. Like we see how things are hidden behind. Like if you look at a candy bar, you say, okay, if that candy bar was just a candy bar, it still wouldn't be that bad if it was just like whatever it was made from was natural. But not only is it a sweet, what would be called snack, and that's where I think they also trick us with words, that snack makes it sound like it's a good thing. But really, it's sort of like, wait a minute, this thing got all these chemicals and stuff in it. If you look at the ingredient list, it's ridiculous on the regular ones, unless you get like a certain organic version. And that the vision allowed me to see that, once my mind was able to be shielded so I could think from the zombies. But if I'm listening to like the music zombie or the schoolhouse zombie here, it'll
You're watching like Wizard of Oz on repeat.
Yeah. And I mean, I mean, I've watched it, but it comes a time where there's certain things I realize, I snapped myself out of it somehow. And then I was able to say, okay, this is what I'm seeing. So seeing the vision here and charting the basic 8 categories. And then as you go into each category, like media, which is a very big category, you have just a wide variety of stuff it's so ridiculous. It's very Matrix like, but Matrix to where, we're in the physical world and we're kind of going into these categories and zombifying ourselves with our mind, like an auditory type of zombification. And it's affecting everybody in a way that is very hard to detect. It's crazy. It's amazing in a way. It's like, holy smokes, this really is like a zombie movie. and something is behind the scene orchestrating. It's like it gives a very artificial feel to society, and even a little beyond. Like to say, yeah, this is very it's like an artificial construct in a way. So the vision led me to basically make the zombie spectrum the main 8 categories, which again had subcategories because to better explain it, and then those subcategories have subdivisions, and this is just the giving a basic overlay, because there's much more that go into the subdivisions. It's more than just drama, romance, comedy, horror, and sci-fi. There's other little genres, and same thing with music and television and internet. So the internet, I mean, that is such a super. It can be something that teaches us, or it can be something that zombifies us. And that's the tricky thing. And it's like a knife. You can use it to cut something. You can even be using it as it's intended to be used, and accidentally it slip or something, or and still harm yourself. So you have to be careful how you use the internet, because it can affect your mind. Yeah, it does affect your mind. I mean, we see it, a lot of people, what it has done, it has conditioned them to act in a way to where it seems as if they've almost lost their minds. And there's people that made videos, anybody can see them on the internet, and they almost seem normal. That's the crazy thing about it. Like that avocado guy that gained a lot of weight by eating junk food, like mukbang. I guess it's called mukbang videos. I mean,
Straight zombie.
yeah, it's like, holy smokes! It's almost unreal to believe that. I mean, it's reality TV or something.
I've seen those videos. It's just eating, and like they get millions of views. I'm just like, how do you find it entertaining? It's just they just eat a bunch of food, and they just talk about random stuff. Complete zombie, completely zombie. You get zero benefit out of
My
watching.
daughter loved those videos. My daughter, when she was younger, she loved them. Loved those videos.
But why though?
I had no
what's
clue, but she
entertaining
loved them.
about seeing people eating gallons of food?
Well, like there was Trisha Paytas used to go through and eat like an entire bucket of KFC, but just the skin, which is so gross. But I don't know. Like I didn't watch. I would watch like weird stuff like that occasionally, but
Straight zombie though. It's just straight zombie. Like
yeah.
there's no reason that they ever watch that. But I've seen them like crazy, just being pushed, recommended to me like a couple years back, and it's just like, and like I've seen like people eating like 30 different, like chicken fingers with like rice on the side and fries. It's a lot of food. I'm just like, this is like, just looking at this food looks like disgusting to me, as a person who doesn't eat this stuff, because it's just zombie food, and it's just, man, like those videos were just wild back in the days, man. They were pushed everywhere.
Yeah, they definitely yeah, man, zombie. It's yeah, we saw. Oh man, that yeah, vibrations in the cells, man. The music definitely. I think LRAD is a type of sonic. I think it's like a sonic cannon or something they call it, and they are saying that it used for sound control. Here, just let me see. LRAD, long range acoustic device. So LRAD, right? It's a specialized loudspeaker that projects clear, focused voice messages across distances, alarms, and sounds. And it's a crowd control device. And this thing, they're saying, can cause hearing damage if used improperly. So, like we were saying, people don't realize how serious that is. It's very, very
That
serious. I
sounds
mean,
really creepy. Who owns those or who has control of those?
this is the state, basically, the federal and the state. The people, like, this is where I'm like, something like you look at just this little bit of depth into society, what it takes to have the society we see around us, like how this thing might have been created. And you're saying, wait a second, they got a device that they made us pay for development, science, and all of that stuff in a whole different branch of government that creates this to come up with this, to say, holy smokes, this is a sonic weapon, basically. And it first, who made it, and then now uh they're using it in a structure, like the police are like the mechanics. It's kind of like you need them, but there, if you, it comes from being lazy. It comes from, well, not just being lazy, but some of us were in a position where we can't police our communities to help because we got to work. But it says, let's just say, and that's the price, I think, of city life or suburban life, even. Now, with country life, you see a little closer to the, if you have a community that understands what it really takes to live, which is based on food. So everybody's got to grow like a serious garden. So now you're beating the curve. Even if you got, say, 80% of your food, that's a lot. So you're never buying produce or anything, and you know how to make food. Now, everybody in the town, you see these towns, they know everybody. And if it's close enough, they can, protect it. Like you see the shows where people coming from out of town, bandits coming from out of town, and the town has to protect itself. Yeah, sound, yeah. LRAD is definitely, it can be that. It can be that. Yeah, man. It just and that's just one branch of what sound can do. So now we know it can do that, and somebody's listening to a subliminal type of message called a music song. Some of them can make you feel good. Of course, you can't listen to it too loud. That's what LRAD is showing us, that if noise, not even if, just having it in your ear, if you're using it in a sonic delivery device like an amplifier, if you amplify the sound, it's actually dangerous. Yeah. LRAD, it deters animals from restricted areas. And I mean, the thing I think about is like, wow, we don't even know where certain budgets are going to, and what type of thing orchestrated a society where we wouldn't even know where funding, I guess it's called, is going to, or care to know. Most people don't care. That raises a concern to say, okay, people are, we all know that we pay taxes. You go and you buy something, you're going to pay tax if it's at a store. And you just, you eat, you go to buy stuff to eat, tax. It really makes me wonder, like, I mean, okay, we're seeing this tax all over the place. The gasoline, the tax supposed to maintain the roads. But if you really add it up, we should have beautiful roads across the entire state we live in, and federal, it's federal, I think. So the roads all over the world, I mean, America, would look beautiful. There'd be no potholes or anything. But We don't see that. Now, like a math problem, 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 minus 2 is 2. So we're looking at that and we're saying, well, the only way this couldn't have been done is if the fact that the roads ain't as good as they should be is that somebody didn't do what they were supposed to do with the money. That they we clearly see that. Now, wait a minute, our tax dollars are supposed to make sure this is done just off the gas tax. It's like, holy smokes. And zombification, yeah, it's a tough one, man. Yeah. 7-Eleven, yeah, be trying to keep people in there with the classical. Yeah, why is Bill Gates pushing for implanted ear tech for music and phone calls? Holy smokes, I gotta look that up, man.
Yeah, yeah. He's been pushing for to put like Bluetooth earpieces to implant them into your ears so that you don't know so that you no longer need to he's saying that it's good since people don't no longer need to turn them off and on and whatnot, and that like they're trying to figure out how to make it last indefinitely. They're talking about maybe having the brain currents, charge the earpieces and whatever. It's like it's a bunch of weird stuff, which is what he's trying to push for. And obviously this is not normal stuff. This is some type of like brainwashing tech, 100%.
This is crazy, man. It says they also got electronic tattoos on Google. I type in Bill Gates want implanted music, and yeah, man, there's investments in brain plants along with other investors like Bezos provide funding. Synchron is the company, and
They're all funding it. They are all like funding it. All the multi-millionaires are funding it.
And music interest. They're saying Gates is known that Spotify implanted music. Some people are saying agenda. I mean, just yeah, this is there's smart tattoos. I could definitely see that being, and people are gonna. That's the craziest thing. This machine or whatever is running everything knows that people are gonna love those smart tattoos, and it's like we're the generation, the people, regardless which decade we come from, because if you're awake, if you have survived the zombie apocalypse of the mentally thing that you're thinking, you're saying, holy smokes, how did I even survive? And there's so much more to think of. Okay, what don't I know? Because I had to like shield my mind, and we know that we all, if we don't shield our minds, the zombies get to us. Yeah, I think definitely everybody's being ordered from behind the scene. Yeah, definitely being ordered from behind the scene. Yeah, because it's like a script, right?
Yeah. I mean, none of these guys are actually calling any type of shots. Even a president, as you know, is pretend. These guys are being ordered to do these things and say these things on purpose. They're not, these billionaires. They're not actually the highly smart individuals who are just different. Trust me, they're not. They signed some type of deal to get to where they are at, and this is why you never see people actually working with the engineers on the products. They claim they did all these stuff, but you never see them actually working with the engineers. These guys are just they are not doing anything. They are just puppets. All their job is just tell the public whatever the elites want to know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Tempo. They are actors on the world stage. Exactly.
Puppet City. And then the other zombies that are even worse are the ones that follow them and believe it. That's the craziest thing. The other zombies will be like, that person is such a puppet zombie. And then you got the puppets, the lower level of puppet zombie that campaigns for the zombie politician. It's crazy. It is. It's ingenious in a way. It's ingenious. I'm not saying it's good, but it's yeah.
It can be hard to watch sometimes when people are like really into the politics to the point they're willing to defend a politic, you know, and just they're really buy into that whole and they're going back and forth. It's crazy to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah, the political zombie part of the zombie infect, the mental. We see how it affects the mentality. The political, I don't even know what to call it. It's like that. It shows how dangerous belief can be. Belief is like a psychological control mechanism that if we're not careful with it, we can't even make it past the belief. It's like a super knowledge filter.
Can I
And
mention
that,
something real quick?
yeah,
Oh.
sure.
And I was just watching a body cam video, these police body cam videos. I watch them quite a bit. And just, keep it short. This guy basically, because a car had a Trump bumper sticker on it, he used his key to like just, destroy the car, scratch the key up, scratch the car up. He keyed the car and he ended up getting arrested for it because there's cameras everywhere. I guess they found the guy, arrested him. But it's like, yeah, it's real. This political zombie thing is real. It influences people's decisions all the time. Think that a bumper sticker could make somebody commit a crime, but it's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. It's man, yeah, the political zombie is yeah, deep. Jamal, you had something?
I mean, yeah, like the political zombies, man. Those guys are just. These people cannot be talked. They cannot be like convinced. These people are just head set on constantly voting in people into power who keep things the exact same. The entire time I've been alive, we've had the taxes have never not once gone down. We are still invading other countries and wasting taxpayers' money. They still violate our rights and they constantly spawn us. Like nothing has changed at all, but people keep sitting here and voting these same people in.
But does our vote
It's
even count
ridiculous.
at the national level with Jamal?
They don't. They think it counts. They think it counts, and that's. But you think that they'll wake up at this point and be like, "Huh? Maybe my vote doesn't count because whoever I vote for is the exact same thing every single time. Like it doesn't change. These guys come and say, "I promise to do this. I promise to do this." Like this. This freaking clown, Kash Patel, the FBI director. This guy was over here saying before he got put into the thing, like he was over saying, "I'm gonna shut down the FBI's main headquarters on day one, and I'm gonna make it a like deep state museum." Like what the hell? And look, what 1 year into this whole administration, the FBI headquarters, nothing got changed. This guy said day one he's going to shut down the FBI because of all the corruption they did under Trump. He gets put as a director. Guess what happens? Nothing happens. Trump's over saying that it's just like MD, like it's a clown show. MD,
Yep.
It's a complete clown show. And this guy was over here pushing the conspiracy theories, saying that the deep state is after them. And then I go on his Twitter, right? This guy made a tweet like I think it's a day ago now at this point. He was over there saying the like deep state keeps on attacking me. You're the FBI director. You are the deep state. It's like what's this guy's talking about? These guys are just and people are buying it in the comments. Like, yeah, man, arrest the deep state guys. Get the deep state. Like, dude, he is the damn deep state now. What are you talking about? Do they not know what the deep state is?
Yeah.
The
MD,
political
can I ask you a
zombies are
question?
brainwashed. No.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
MD, can I ask you a quick question? If just because you're up in New York, if you were to wear a Trump hat around the neighborhood, what do you think would happen?
Oh yeah, they would think I was a political zombie. There's a guy that I
Do you
spoke
think you
with.
get attacked?
I don't know because I don't see anybody wearing it. And when I think back, it's rare. You do see it, but not really. Nah, honestly, I haven't really seen it prominently. Like I've seen more of the stickers and stuff like that. And but not a lot. And the hat, yeah, no. I don't know what I would feel very uncomfortable wearing that or even Democrat hat. So either or, it's like
Mhm.
you're joining a gang actually,
It
because
just seems like
people,
it triggers no other candidate in the
yeah,
history of the world has ever triggered this type of reaction from the
yeah,
people. So
yeah,
decisive, either love them or hate them, but I mean hate them like to another degree that they'll attack regular people on the street. Imagine if you're just wearing a red hat, by chance, and they think you're wearing that. The zombies will come out and attack. It's like we're seeing it in
wow,
real life now. It's just
wow. That's like that guy said. Patel got so many racist comments when he put up a celebrating Diwali. Yeah, man, the racism is like, man, it's such a mental disease. It's just ridiculous, man. Cash constantly putting on Twitter, deep state. Yeah, and that is hilarious, man. Him saying it's like them saying themselves, yeah. Rumor you have.
Cash Patel is a joke. I like it's so ridiculous. The dude is a joke. Do you see
Yeah.
the lawsuit that he's involved in right now against Elijah Schaefer? He and his
No, no,
girlfriend
I
are like
didn't.
suing Elijah Schaefer for a bunch of money.
The
He's this
only, yeah.
he's got like this podcast or something on YouTube. He's pretty funny. Um but
Wait,
anyway, so
Cash
they're being
Patel,
sued
Cash
because he
Patel.
retweeted something saying the girlfriend was a honeypot, an Israeli honeypot.
That's crazy. That is
Ser-
like, yeah. He. I mean, it's like a sitcom show almost. It's like what the. I mean,
MD,
how?
I
Yeah.
mean, MD,
Which
this
she
guy.
obviously is. Like,
I
she
mean,
obviously is. Like, she's a
have you?
freaking Nashville country music star or whatever. Like, I mean, please.
Oh yeah, MD. If you've seen his girlfriend, you just know that
You
like
would
that she's
so
not.
he looks
It's
like a
so
clown.
obvious some type of honeypot.
Clown
Like
defending her. It is the most
it's bad.
unprofessional thing ever. He looks like a freaking clown.
I mean, this guy is with like a girl that's like, I think she's like way out of his league. So you already know that there's something going on behind the scenes and whatnot. But I mean, this guy, like, have you guys seen him going on the podcast? I think it was last week with his girlfriend, talking about how much he loves his girlfriend and all that. I'm like, this guy is a director of the FBI going
Yes,
on a
yes, that's
like
what I'm
couples
saying.
podcast.
Yes, absolutely. It's ridiculous. It's very much giving off the Tom Cruise jumping on Oprah's couch when he was dating old what's her name? Uh freaking Katie Holmes, whatever. I
Mhm.
remember when he was jumping up and down on the
Yeah,
couch and just
yeah,
acting. He's always a clown, but he was extra clownish.
yeah. It makes
Like
you
Giving
wonder.
Cash Patel is very much giving that vibe to me.
he's not doing anything. He's like, just let's make it clear. He's absolutely doing nothing, right? I mean, if you're going on podcasts constantly with your girlfriend, talking about how your relationship started, how much you love each other, like this guy, and this is doing the whole Brown University, you know, thing that was going on, right? Where like the whole FBI, they're trying to find this one guy. This guy's going on podcasts with this girlfriend. I mean, like it's just delusional. This shows me that these people don't actually work in these high like
Yeah,
positions.
going
They
on
don't work.
podcasts, he's tweeting. Have you seen the tweets? Like just crazy. Like my girlfriend is the best girlfriend in the world. You guys are just jealous of her talent, incredible talent. Like it's really some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like it's just sad. Everything, and it's not just him. I mean, everyone else is acting like complete clowns. Then I mean, this Pam like Bondi, for example, on Twitter. I mean, like she's over there saying that she's the most transparent administration in history. But after she released the whole Epstein files, which is 80% redacted, like and like this stuff is just like I don't want to think about this stuff too much. It's political zombiness, man. It's just political slop to make you sit there and just be zombified. But this stuff is just like the zombies that believe these people are just they can't be fixed. Like you cannot unbite these political zombies. When you are infested with these guys, you don't get out of that because you're too politically just insane at this point, man. Like these people, like it's just all voting is a stat that the elite see to see how many idiots still believe the whole narrative. That's all it is. The whole political zombies are just done. It's absolutely done with those guys.
Yeah.
It's a sitcom. MD, you said it the best. It's literally
Clown
a
show.
freaking
Yeah.
sitcom.
Yep.
It's a
Clown
show.
show.
It's a show. That's all it is. And you got Trump going on constantly on news talking, just saying a bunch of crazy stuff. It's like it's just like you just have to laugh at this stuff. It's just there's no way that people believe in any of this stuff, man. Like, oh my gosh, man.
Yeah. The fact that the president has time to go on TV shows you he's not a leader, he's an actor. It's like he should be so busy he can't go on TV.
He's not though. I mean, thank you, MD. He's not. He's like I've never seen a president as in the news as much as this guy. Like constantly, he's just in the news. He's just doing interviews every single moment of his life, man. I'm just like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like this guy, like he does nothing. But at least Trump is making it obvious. Like the past presidents, they like the acting was actually pretty good with what they're trying to act like they were busy and they're doing stuff. I mean, Trump doesn't even care. He's constantly doing interviews, just doing nothing. He's just like these people are just they are controlled like puppets, and I mean, like politics has just gotten insanely entertaining lately, man. It's gotten insanely entertaining. It's just at this point you just laugh at the zombies and then you just sit back and just watch the show from afar.
Have you guys ever seen those pictures they show of the presidents in the past behind the desk with their heads behind, their hands behind their head and like they're in deep thought and they're looking out the window and it's like it's just a show, you know what I mean? It's just for the magazines, like they're actually doing something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Somebody
I
coming
know.
on?
Yeah, Spooky Tuesday.
Spooky Tuesday.
Yeah.
What up, Joe?
What's up, man? Do you know who this is, Rumor, or maybe somebody knows Spooky? Or is this your first time on here?
My first time on your zombie channel, yeah.
How did you hear about us?
I've been subscribed to your Incel channel for a while.
Really? I guess he yeah, just kind of odd, the dating thing, man. It's crazy, right? It's just like holy smoke. But yeah, the music zombie stuff, politics is a religion. KAI. Yeah, it definitely, and it's crazy. It's like evolution. It's like a religion that people don't know or won't admit is a religion somehow. It's that zombifying.
Does Spooky Tuesday believe in evolution? Is he a believer?
Oh no, he hopped off.
Oh, he hopped off. Oh, no.
Yeah.
What's the point of coming on if you're gonna do that?
I mean, people. Yeah, I guess. Just
He probably. I mean, who knows? I mean, like he could have just one flashed and then he saw that he put the shield up. So he's like, oh well, it's no point.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah,
you're right, Jamal. You nailed it.
Mr. X is asking people about evolution, kind of like your question, because I always ask people what they think happened with 9/11. It's always the question I ask people. Yeah.
I was up in New York when it happened. Yeah.
No, I mean the evolution thing. Like, is that something you just asked just to see where somebody's like mind is at?
Yeah, I like to know where their mind's at. Yeah, I like to see.
That's what I asked people about 9/11 for. Same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, like when it comes to the whole like 9/11, to be fair, there are a ton of people. I feel like that's like a in my opinion, it's a beginner type of awakening for a lot of people because I mean, I feel like that if you look online, a lot of people like there's thousands of they say, oh, this is some type of inside job. So I feel like that's a like beginner type thing, because I mean like that job was done so sloppily bad that it's just like even like a lot of normies are like, yo, like this seems like it's an inside job. Like it was done that poorly. But like when you get to like evolution, that's when the real Agent Smith starts like coming out and then they start being like they start attacking you and like very, 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 very few people actually don't believe in that religion. While with 9/11, it's like I think at this point, I legit think that I think most people actually believe that it's some type of inside job. Actually, if you look online, all the comments on the videos that have millions of views on 9/11, all of them are saying, "Oh, this is like an inside job. Oh, this is obviously not what they're telling us."
Can I ask Rumor a question? Were you alive during 9/11?
Yes, I was, gosh, I think I was like maybe, well, let's see, it was 2011, so I was 21. was born
Oh,
in 1980.
2001. Oh, you were
Yeah.
born 1980. Okay, so you
Mhm.
ask a question. Do you remember what you were doing that day?
I do. I was actually in Corpus Christi, and I remember seeing it on the news and then seeing, because there's an Air Force base down there, and I remember seeing, planes like after the fact driving, and I
Hmm.
just remember trying to even comprehend it all. I can't even imagine living or being in the city.
But isn't it
It
interesting?
must have
Do
been
you remember what you did
crazy.
the next day? Do you remember what you did the next day over 20 years ago?
No, no,
See how everybody can
it's
remember what they
crazy.
were doing on that day to a T. You could probably remember who you're talking to, where you were. You can remember all
Yeah,
the details over 20 years ago. That's not a coincidence. I know I remember every detail of what I was doing that day. And I'm sure MD does too. We all do. And
that's
that's
so
planned out.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The same thing happened with the JFK assassination. Everybody could remember what they were doing that day. So this is not the first time something like this has happened. It is definitely a show and it's a programming. And of course, look what happened. It changed our whole lives. So, yeah. Same thing after JFK, what happened in the Vietnam War. I don't think that none of these things are coincidence at all.
Yeah, it's really odd the way how history, when you analyze it, there's so many possibilities from what they're telling somebody to believe.
Hmm.
So it could be what they're telling people, but when we weigh that, because that's what the zombie will say. They'll say, "Oh no, it's what they told us," and then it's like, wait a second, you really believe that? And it shows you. It's like that's actually the point in the zombie movie where you hear the music like bang, like the scary music is because the
Hmm.
person is letting you know, and it just you start to see like, wow, there's not too many people mentally around that you can even talk to anymore about certain things. It's
Yeah.
one like we see the politics, you already know where they're at. If they're too leaning to one or the other side, it has infected them to a point to where they can't really have a normal conversation if they bring it up. You see what I'm saying? So somebody in control, let's just say there's still a political zombie, they vote. But if they vote and they don't talk about it, that shows you that they got the zombie infection isn't that deep. But if they got to mention who they're voting for, that's the next level to say, okay, the infection, the mental, you know, uh, disease on that, the affinity for that candidate, or basically the brainwashing that the propaganda put in for the person to like the candidate, has it to where they're not gonna totally come at you with it, but they're just gonna identify like, oh yeah, this is who I vote for, and that's it. I'm not trying to change your vote to this, or it's just basically the basic voting zombie, the basic political zombie. Then you got the one that tries that lets you know, okay, this is who they vote for, and tries to get you to vote for that person, like, or why you should support that. And then the next one is the flag waiver type level, where people are, straight January 6th type of thing. It's crazy the mental disease that can come from the political zombie part of the spectrum. It's crazy with that. And then, that mixed with a little bit of religion, we see that, man, that combination gets volatile quick. You get a serious form of mind control. You get a political zombie, man, they thinking that, they're not zombified. And yeah, I didn't know if you knew who Spooky Tuesday 17 was, Roma. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he's yeah. But yeah, the when I think about it, it's like, man, music really has a zombifying effect. And yeah, but
I definitely think there's something to do with the hormones. The hormones, they attack those because those have a great influence on our moods and our thinking too. And
yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. If people are in a different hormonal state, like say they're in a state of depression, they're definitely going to have a different reaction to that music than someone who isn't in that state. They know this. The scientists know this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, they definitely it's being engineered. It's like the channel that I put up earlier, that guy Cougar Doomer.
Mhm.
Even though he's an evolutionist, he's like, he admits to be a materialist and stuff. He knows from being a programmer, a software engineer, a type of biochemist, but he's evolution zombie. But we had a pretty good conversation on, he knows about like you know like a type of environmental manipulation. He was explaining, like, just when people use certain fertilizers and stuff, how it depletes stuff, and how they are able to kind of, like, with weather control, stuff like that. He's definitely, the evolution, you can see the belief in that.
That's
Voting.
surprising to me. Can I mention that? Because he's a scientist. So he
Well,
has a greater understanding of science, that it can only be tested and repeated in the lab. And he knows evolution can't be done that way. So I'm
mhm.
surprised at his belief system. Why would he even think that, knowing he cannot test or prove evolution scientifically in a lab? He knows he can't do that. So
Yeah,
why would he not accept that it's a belief instead of it's his religion? I don't
yeah,
understand. I don't understand the thinking. That's really zombified then.
yeah. It's because he actually thinks he's smarter than he actually is, and he's a smart
Mm,
guy. So that's the most dangerous part. If he wasn't smart, he might question being smart. If you can't question being smart, now that can get dangerous real quick.
right.
You know, yeah,
I mean, he's
just
a biochemist. He should know the complexity of the single cell. It's not that simple. Like Darwin once thought, that was original theory, was this: the cell was a very simple organism that evolved.
yeah.
And we know that's not true. So I'm just shocked that a biochemist, unless they're getting paid like Neil deGrasse and those other
Well,
guys, you
he
know.
said that he did software engineering. And
That's different. That's
yeah,
computer
yeah, he
programming.
also did that. So, but he did have a background in biochemist and
Oh, okay.
chemistry. But he he did surveillance system type of stuff that he said wasn't, it was like they didn't have to abide by the law. And
Hmm.
so he was programming stuff, and then he was kind of, I mean, he could be kind of conspiracy, he could be, but he doesn't think he is. He try anything, ancient civilization stuff like that. I could see the evolution zombie thing, it holds you at a certain level, but he seems like a cool guy. He
Hmm.
seems like a cool guy. He's the guy that when I asked about the bacteria, he got kind of triggered.
Really?
Hmm.
I know it's very easy to trigger an evolutionist. It really is, because they know they don't have a good answer. I think that's what it comes down to. They don't want to defend their position. They know they'd rather attack your position than defend their own. I notice
Yeah,
that a lot with
yeah,
the evolutionists. They want to throw the proof on you when we say in creation, it's a belief. It's
yeah,
not a science.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of like Vegan Gains, that guy. He was on this guy's show, and as soon as I challenged his, and I didn't even really challenge it. I was like, okay. I asked him to explain it, so I definitely didn't challenge him. And he was like, "Oh, the whale bones, because I go, do you have any proof of evolution scientifically that you can say?" And he did that, and then I go, "So just because you have different whale bones doesn't mean they turned into each other." I said, "That's clearly." I said, "You can line up anything and say, oh, this turned into that. We know that's not true." And yeah, Ruma, did you have something?
Well, I was just saying too, like thinking too, like about the evolution. Like I'm not sure about to me, like what I think is that how can we come from monkeys if there's still monkeys around?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that, and just the fact that, just thinking of the whole story, like, and that's the thing, knowing more of the story, you start to see how ridiculous it is to say, wait a second, you're telling me that reptiles turned into birds, and it's like, and then what did reptiles come from? Like a type of amphibians, which came from water animals, which is fish, and then that came from like different smaller forms of life all the way back to bacteria. That makes no sense. It's a great story that can definitely capture the mind of people, and it has. The fact that this guy is so smart in some field and zombified in the other shows like holy smokes, because I tried to just talk with him about it. And another thing too, I saw the trigger. Yeah, the trigger is kind of an indication to say, wow, that is a tender spot. And it's the same thing with some religious people. You just got to be like, okay, cool, that's what you believe, great. At least they admit it, that it's a belief. The evolutionist, the problem with the evolutionist is he will think, or she will think, that it's science, and say, no, you're unscientific. I deal with reality, and it's like, really? So
Yeah.
yeah, and then like, Mr. X, they'll start explaining the process. That's the most hilarious thing. Oh, well, this is how evolution works. And I'm like, that's not what I asked
Yeah.
you. I
Yeah.
actually
They
was
give you
thinking
the
of the
textbook
bacteria.
definition. And they always got to include 2 or 300 million
Yeah,
years because we know the
yeah,
miracle of time, what it can do.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Tap
But
dance.
I don't think I have to disagree a little bit that it's a good story. I think it's a crappy story. I
Oh, it
think
is.
that
No, I mean a
yeah,
good story. Like it's a fairy tale. But yeah, you're right. I hear what you're saying. Like,
because if
yeah,
we go by creation, then we could discover what really happened, and we might discover these ancient civilizations that were very advanced. It'd be very interesting to find
yeah,
that out.
yeah. Well,
You
that's
know?
the thing. It doesn't go in a straight line. And the
Hmm.
weirdest thing is we see growth goes usually in a straight line. You don't
Yeah.
see somebody grow and then get smaller and grow bigger again. They just
Hmm.
grow, bigger. That's it. And when they stop growing, they stop growing. So it's not they grow and then they can grow in the opposite direction and then start growing back in the original direction. We don't
Hmm.
see that. But we see that in when we try to evolution tries to cover the truth, we see that
Yeah, that's why I think it's a
yeah,
crappy story.
exactly. Yeah, you'll see
We came
something.
from slime, evolved to a higher order. So that's not an interesting story to me.
It's
Well, especially
ridiculous.
since it's not true. That's
Yeah,
the even worst
yeah.
part. And the harm it's caused people, throughout human history, because so many groups have been considered lower than and been mistreated. Like we saw, there were human zoos out there. You talk about treating humans inhumanely, putting them in a zoo. That was all because of evolution,
Hmm.
So it's a bad story, and it's a very dangerous story. It's
Yeah,
harmed a lot of people.
yeah, yeah. It really, it sets the premise to set people against each other, classify them, section. Alexis Jin got a good anagram. Voting equals go in TV.
Mm, nice
Wow.
one.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. Thanks. Yeah, that's a yeah. Go in TV and go. But yeah, go in TV is the best way to say that. Yeah, that's actually pretty good, man. Yeah,
So
the
Would you consider Chat GPT like an AI? Would you consider that like to fall under the internet category?
um yeah, it's definitely on the internet. Why what would be the difference if it wasn't the internet? Like what would it be called?
I don't know, like just if AI and like Chat GPT or something ended up being maybe its own category. Just because I've seen it say a lot of strange things to people. You read things all the time about, the AI convinced this person to do this, or
Yeah.
there's like some crazy stories about what AI can do
Yeah, yeah.
to influence it can have on people.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. There was a story about this lady's son. Actually, I think they had the AI version of the girl from I don't know if it was Game of Thrones or the other one. Um, and yeah, it. I mean, we see that that has happened in other instances. Something similar of people influence people. Yeah, it's crazy. We're moving toward a very unknown area. It's there. We can see they're holding back information. So I mean,
Let me ask you this. So, you know how we were talking about, like, certain people, like, they may have like handlers. A lot of people have spouses or different people that are handlers. Like, what if the goal, of the AI, like if you think about it, a lot of people having AI companions and things like that, it'd be like everybody at some point having handlers. Like, what if they push people being with AI instead of with other people? And then everyone would have a handler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's like they got a handler, and that handler makes sure they keep the population under a spell in a certain way. They can't break character. If they do, even this is the crazy thing. Even if they break character, this machine is set up to where they'll make it look like again, like a sitcom show, like an attention fest, and it's just always something to distract. It's crazy, but it's reality. I mean, that's the crazy thing about reality. It's like, wow, we are in something, yeah. But yeah, thanks for being on the show, everybody in the chat. Take care. We'll talk again soon.
Have a good night, everyone.